Yeah, boss, I stay. That's what I mean. I see what I mean. Yeah, I think that's it. Time flying. And hmm, and it didn't feel like and I think that also might be a testament to the slowing down of the monthly plays because we're talking out and was there a lot of activity today. Was there anything really interesting or look forward to that people are trading against? I don't know. Not really. But you usually know. You usually know. So it's to me. I think what made the month ends was a big deal for other people was that, and then no, with regards to the market, of course, but no, it's the month ended. I glance off. Mhm. Yeah, that's also it. But the thing is that where I usually see it, I mean, in the group, I think that's where most of it was previously. I don't know. I don't think most other people are having a conversation to the degree that your group was doing it. So not seeing that level where your trade going. But maybe I can also say I didn't really check often today, so that might be it. But I don't think that was thing there. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a funny thing. Multiples are still there. Things still move on the thing there. It's just not like it was where I don't probably it wasn't as easy. It's not as easy as it was. Not as often as it was where predictable timing or whatever. It's should I say your group? I don't know what chance to make. You was mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's yeah. That's easy. No? Uh-huh. Yeah. The dancer keep on you walking. So you say, yeah. You attend enough dance versus you were invited. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. 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 What was their Last month was June, so it's harder to say. It's hard to say. What the- April, right? Huh. I'm jumping the gun. Next month is June. Mm-hmm. 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 Full facts. Mm-hmm. 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 Yeah, every now and then it aligns with their money. Like, oh, I've money for X, Y, Z. I've money in front of me coming in, and maybe the play is in front of you, and you make it right. But yeah, we've always said it's not necessarily the thing. Oh, it's not the bread and butter here for me. It's not. Oh, this is the thing I'm looking to do on the market. If it happens, it happens. If somebody wants that, then we can talk about it. But it's not. Oh, what do I want out of the market? This month, and then I look for a month end play. That was never me. And I think you said the same. And even then, Jamaica has presented itself as, oh, maybe it's not so easy, right? Because we see now ups and downs in Jamaica, that the talk right before it kind of reveals certain things, right? The talk right before it was right before the drop, right before the rise, the fall. We had a fall, and you saw the attitudes going into that fall. It shook the thing there, the cult of Jamaica, and and then the rise. The rise to me seemed like everybody that never sell for what, good or bad reason, right? It's I know I be afraid to sell, never really know, or I must like a hold out, or maybe make an informed decision. So it's my long term stock or something like that, right? And yeah, you benefit from the rise, but then the rise happens, and then the fall now, after that, and to me that it's no it's presenting itself as, we see the conversations around it seem a lot like, oh, it's happening too, right? Like it's not necessarily a matter of this was planned for. This was a trade I make, and I make a good money off a transfer maker. When this something, it seems more of either a health strain, or when it going down, I'm afraid and I'm out, and the market this and that. Boy, the Jamaican market, transfer maker done until it isn't. Mm-hmm. 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 No, interesting things have happened the month. To me, my highlight here is just the month end never really hit as it has been. It's not. It doesn't seem like a highlight that the month ended, and there are some things happening specifically on the last trading day that people love. Yeah. Mhm. He's one of those the transfer maker thing, eh? Rise and fall and money make. Was SPL anything interesting this month? I'm sure it was this. I'm sure this month had some movements. True that. Yeah, true that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's that. So that cross section means it's an interesting one because so not necessarily a strongly interesting point overall, but that overall that means there are 10 stocks that if you bought them at the start, if you're looking at them at the start, if you bought them below their starting point for the year, you'll be up this month. And the greater point for me there is there's something to be looked at. Oh, we've had this one. There's something to be looked at. Oh, something is down so far for the year. Maybe there's something to look at for maybe the end of the year or some other time during this year. Just on, hey, it's down. Is that an opportunity? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Oh, yeah, yeah. To me, the thing that this month I had some very interest in the cross market, the cross currency. It was at some points even like at at some point, like often for me, it was I saw strong points for reconversion. So from going from USD to JMD, strong points for that, and it was very interesting because often I'm looking in the opposite direction and then figuring out how to get money back to JMD. This time I'm looking, I'm like, wait, if I buy a USD and sell on JMD, it'll be proper gain this in a very short time, like within the day, strong gain. Couple times this month. It's Mhm. 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 Mm-hmm. Justin. Yeah, better rate. Yeah. Yeah. Make Don't forget the rate of Google is not necessarily the rate they're getting when you ask the bank on either side, buying or selling USD. When you ask the bank, you're going to lose money. Anything you see on Google, that's the thing that is the point you're never going to get. It's when you call the bank and say, all right, I want some USD, how much? I want some JMD and I want some USD, how much? And you get that number, you look at the market and you're like, wait. It makes me think so it makes me think about I wonder how much interest like neighbor would have if I can build anything. I mean, they had a camera before this. Yeah, they had a camera from before the cross currency, right? So no, we have the cross currency tradable. Then how? Because I mean, to me, there's something there. Yeah, there's some there. If you have other thing built on top of it, then there's some strong money to be made on thing. Mm-hmm. 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 958. Mm-hmm. And Jamaica. Mm-hmm. Same company. You buy one, you have it in another. Yep. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If you use JTrader, you see US dollars actually in your account. And if you go to your broker, you get it out. Not every broker. Well, you should be every broker, but I gather some of them, I don't know. I hear complaints about some of them. Like I've heard, like with Moneyline, you have to get a separate, like a second brokerage account for the USD.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. That I didn't know that. That's surprising to me. Um, but anyway, I may not go
That's
to
quite because because then imagine like so you tell me basically then that there's no opportunity. You can't actually do the thing there. You can't actually do the cross currency conversion over there. That's what you're saying to me.
I hesitate to say yes, but that's the impression I got. Like,
It sounds like that. Yeah.
yeah, like you buy Trans Jamaica JMD at
On
of
Manila,
the,
then
if you buy it with money lines, if you buy it with JMB, you, unless you have that second account, you can't sell it as USD.
the second account means that there is a different. Does that mean there's a different JCSD on the second account?
Yeah.
Because if it does, then if you don't own it on that means they cannot do anything on the ownership side on the USD side with. If my JMD account cannot access the USD portion of the market,
Then
then
you're
I
losing
can't
out
even go sell it over
technically.
there because it can't sell over there.
Technically, yeah. I mean, we could be wrong. Somebody who does this or has tried this or uses this, send a speaking
Can
request and you
verify.
can tell us about it. Yeah. But yeah, that's just a tangent, but it's a tangent that surprised me because it then makes it that's a disadvantage then, right? So that means the people using JTrader have another advantage, because it didn't even occur to me that people had that problem, because it's celebrating both currencies. So if your broker platform not set up for that, then he's putting himself at a proper disadvantage. Because also this month, there's some arbitrage hops that's making that surprising to me. Shouldn't be surprising to me. I did them, but just surprising, because I'm starting to wonder how often are these available. So I actually went and checked, and it's available pretty often.
You mean opportunity?
Yeah.
It's like it's all on any given day, isn't it? You can look for it.
Yeah.
It's just truth for it. It comes back to the same thing. You have to make the trade.
You do
say,
have
all
to
right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go and do this. And it has to make sense and be right. That any other trade.
True, but true. I guess I'm not struggling with that side of things. Yeah, I'm not struggling with that side of things.
But you're just looking at it. It's all right. I'm going to do this. So
yeah. That is it. So yeah, quite a tangent from Transjamaica, which is the 5th largest gainer this month. At least the JMD side of it is the 5th largest gainer this month. I wonder what happened with the USD side.
Sorry to butt in, guys, but
who is that? The BrickTalk himself. Okay, yeah. What's up, Phil?
Yeah, I was just confirming that Phil? Yes, Moneyline lame up the thing with the two, or JMB with the two accounts. You have to have a completely different JCSD number to have a USD trading, Jamaican market USD trading account.
Word.
So it does not facilitate
the
trading,
arbitrage.
The arbitrage, yeah. Taking advantage of the arbitrage.
That sucks.
Yeah, and
JMB have the most retail investors,
largest retail
everybody.
Customer base. Exactly. I mean, just don't care about trading certain ways. Well, I don't care about the market.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that. So, yeah, I don't know if they don't. Yeah, go ahead, Dan.
Don't care about trading, bro.
Well, you'd think they would provide investors with the tools.
I find it so strange. I didn't even know, like I said, until I was saying it to someone else, and they had no idea what I was talking about. So I made it plain, like, you buy it here, you can sell it there. There's not one, it's two. No, and then went into it, and that's how it was explained to me, that you can't with JMB. I can't say just JMB, but because I don't know if any other brokers. I've never tried it with Mayberry. I don't know, but I guess I don't know. A broker would have to have their platform to that. Otherwise, JTrader is the way. I do most of my trading from My Money J anyway, and JTrader. So Yeah, it's just a surprise to me because that is profit being denied by a lot of people, and the fact that Trans-Jamaica is the most popular stock, right? So it's the most widely held thing, and I guess the most people who have that can get to access it. Right?
Yeah. So what do you think about that then, in the sense of it being the most popular stock helps that opportunity, and that might be a strong factor in the arbitrage. So, meaning the one side be not as popular as the other side, and largely from a perspective of potentially from a perspective of potentially because well, one side just can't in there. A lot of people cannot access one side in that same way. It's a different stock completely for a large amount of people. So
that's a good point. And largely facilitated by JMB.
One of the strongest problems, we get rid of arbitrage. People knowing about it, people acting against it, people acting on it. And it causes arbitrage. So, keep it up, JMB.
Well, does it cut down?
Yeah, I mean, if the largest retail
if the retail base generally becomes interested in this arbitrage, and more people are doing it, then the opportunity becomes thin. Unless there's an external factor feeding that demand, feeding through it, they think there. But the arbitrage becomes slimmer because more people come into it.
Right.
So more popular it is, the less chance there is for imbalance.
Yeah.
Correct.
Imagine the queues. Imagine the queues on the. Imagine there were. Imagine very similar thing there. Activity on both queues, where people are people looking for opportunity on both sides, and even from a perspective of looking at opportunity through that specific lens. A lot of people doing it. Then you get a man say, "All right, but I want this thing. I'm not going to sell for that because I can get a better. I can have the no."
In that case, forget everything I just said a while ago, people. Please get out of your brain.
I didn't even know that thing that Jamie didn't. I just thought it was a matter of knowledge,
I thought it was a matter of knowledge too, but
it might even change, and it happens as a matter of knowledge. But I'm not very interested in in changing that situation. Maybe it's a different level of money.
Yeah.
It should work on Mayberry too, but I've never tried.
I've never tried it there either.
Okay, maybe.
But there's one account.
Maybe it's manual trade, or no? Does there trade that Mayberry go to a desk?
If every trade, well, it certainly seems that way.
If that's the case, then I think you can do it. You can do it at Mayberry. I can't say that being a limiting factor. If that's the case,
right?
Because the trader does it to all that kind of thing.
And there's no additional. It's one JCSD account number, and you can buy USD shares with it. I've never actually tried the cross trade, but
it's
Monday's another day.
Through the app. If when you buy when you buy JMD on the app, then if you can go ahead and sell USD or so, or vice versa, then without having a call, of course.
Yeah.
Well, don't say call. Well, since you're on, sorry, BrickTalk. Well, since you're on, tell us what was the highlight of your May?
I think it kind of seemed quiet, but if you only focus on straight the other month, then.
Well, I don't know. Them cut your line as you start answering that.
Right?
Yeah, we're not hearing you at all. We're not hearing you at all.
You're not hearing? Really?
Still
not hearing me?
Oh no, we're hearing you now. Yeah, so you can just start over, because we didn't hear anything.
Yeah, I mean, if the focus is the end of the month, then it may seem like a quiet month, but I think there's a lot going on this month. The largest volume traded was Kintyre, and there's always a lot of action there.
The largest volume was
Kintyre, like by far.
That's
largest volume by far.
Angle that I did not even think of. Let's see that. So let's see what the month to date looks like in terms of volumes. Volumes traded, you're right. Kintyre was the number one with 295.5 million units traded. Huh.
Kind of a lot of units, right?
Massive amount of units, yes.
I mean, value-wise, it was only number 11, but I'm sure we can guess number one value-wise is Trans-Jamaica.
Was it? Let's see.
Yeah, I think so.
Let us see. Hold on 1 second for me. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it is.
Number 11 value. Okay.
He says it was number 11.
Which says a lot for.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Trading.
19 cents.
19, 20 cents. Significant.
Or 10th in terms of value, actually.
Oh,
there's one day when 100 million.
So USD transfer
100 million units are Kintyre share.
True.
Say again?
Does USD transfer maker do that? Fall into number thing?
Fall
into the top 10?
I don't cross them here. So like I can go USD only, and value wise USD only. That's actually a good point. That only increases the value of the Trans-Jamaica then, because this is 1.1 million Trans-Jamaica. This is 1.1 million US. So
okay, so hang on.
1.1. Yeah, 1.1 million US for Trans-Jamaica USD. But if you just go back to all markets and regular thing, then it's still Trans-Jamaica at 690 million for the month. 690 million in terms of value for the month. But Phil, you pointed out, because we know definitely Kintyre isn't winning the value race there. But they were 10th. 66.9 million in terms of value traded. But is that I mean, it is value traded because value did cross the market, but being a little bit of a stickler for what it actually is. I mean, is it block trades? What do you think it is? Is more dilution?
I'm not sure. Block trades, block trades would show up as block trades, eh?
Correct. On my money JA they would, but I don't know if
dilution
or shifting around.
Shifting around. Well, I mean, is a shifting around what you mean?
I wonder if maybe a possibility of, and you don't want to concentrate all the holdings in one vehicle.
Who are we talking here? Because you're talking like the primary. Well, I'm still a primary, but like E-Media with Kintyre.
Here's the thing. Though. So yes, Kintyre, the owner. I'm talking about the persons that were in with VM, potentially in there. But I don't think they can sell shares, can they?
I don't know the details off the top of my head, but I don't think so. I think they're prevented from doing that, because those shares would be the subject or whatever, right? Unless VM has taken control of them and is moving them how VM wishes. But I don't think so.
I mean, shares have been issued, so it really could be a lot of entities.
Mm.
I mean, one day 100 million shares move.
I don't know. 100 million. I don't know. 105 million move May 15th. 52 million move May 25th. Another 33 million moved on May 27th. I mean, let's see, May 15th, 105 million moving. Let's see what that looked like. What was that like? Was 100 million a single block? Almost. No, well, it was 100 million in a single trade, but it went to 10, split up 10 pieces. Yeah, split up in 10 pieces, 10 trades at 22 cents per share. At 11.52. Let's see what happened. That's I'm wondering if it's not just just further issues.
Further issues, but if you're issuing shares in furtherance of a deal or something, it don't cross the market, does it? The person who issues shares would have to choose to sell the shares.
True-ish. I wouldn't swear to that. If the broker's on his side, I find it funny that there's a broker linked order right at the 22, also right below. So, although they wouldn't see it below, would they? On my money, you see it below. Everywhere else, you'd see it above. But it actually is below, and then it traded. I don't know. So one broker link buy at I don't know. It's I mean, as always, the Kintyre show, you have to just wait to see what the next episode brings. Probably movement to I think it's in aid of maybe I feel them have maybe I wanted to have like maybe a listing coming up, maybe something for the micro market, but realistically at this point
I really hope that is the case, honestly.
Yeah.
I would like to see some action in that way. Engage a broker, then list something. That would be good to see.
Well, I mean, you'd have to have the yes from the broker already, right? Or again, this could be VM. This could be VM exercising their powers if they've gotten through 100 mil though. Looking at the shareholdings, who has 100 mil?
1, 2, 3, 4. Only 4 entities.
Only 4, yeah. Sean Tomlinson, Peter Bovell, Richard Lee, and I guess the embattled Kintyre Holdings, the private company.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it could just be new issues, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it could be new issues. I think it might go. I think it could be new issues, and I think it could be our own deal making. But hey, we'll see.
Yeah.
Is there some announcement happened? Another one.
Yeah, the parallel. Hopefully, the parallel spin off. Maybe I'm gonna micro market with parallel.
Yeah, they have new
something
management. What would I say?
Well.
Real estate. Yeah, speaking of real estate, the last day of the month, APO raises its ugly head again.
Yes.
Real estate guys.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. First Rock deciding that they're going APO, which I mean, I don't know. It's first.
Top 10 again. Top 10 look again.
I know. I think First Rock top 10 look like.
Top 10 is very spread out. Like very like nobody owns 10% of that company. Well, yeah.
Okay.
Looking at the top 10 list.
Number 1 owns 6 and number 10.
I was looking at that team Mayberry, and I expected that.
You expected that? I don't.
No,
Not
my point
expected.
was, really? You expect to see Mayberry?
No, I thought you said not expecting that.
Oh no! I was just I was going to say Mayberry owns debt, not shares, right? And then I said,
Right.
let me be correct and ask Randy to show me first,
Ah,
and then it just makes sense. Yeah,
Okay.
go shoot.
yeah, maybe they're more comfortable holding the debt. They pretty much control the all of the workable.
You make the money, not lose it, basically.
Yeah, most of the workable assets are of the company. I think they have the rights though. They're lending 15 million US. Well, or they arrange 15 million US.
Arrange. Yeah.
And if it's
I think
arranged,
some of that is on SPL audited.
I believe on SVLs.
Yeah. SPL
Okay.
loan. Can't remember how much.
Okay. Well,
500 odd million Jamaican is what I remember.
half a bill Jamaican.
Yeah.
How much is 15 mil US? It's like 2.3 bill Jamaican. So okay. Hey, listen, they got the funding. It's business. There's value there. I'm happy to I'm happy to hear that there's value moving. Even for them, even for Kintar. And the Kintar, yeah, because
Dominated, bro.
It's actually positive.
Wait, said it. What you just said is, I'm even happy to see value moving for Kintail.
Yeah, because
so you're typically negative.
You're right. Yeah, you're 100% right. That's it. I'm the head of the hate on the Kintyre train. Here's a good reminder because that's about to say something positive about them.
The farmer head of that train said, "Time is the master." So here you are after some time.
Boy, well, yeah, it's still my favorite show on the market, Kintyre, and I'm still looking forward to see how they come out of it, because if they come out of it well, yeah, I'm always saying, I've always said that listed companies are very, 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 very difficult thing to kill. So I'm always interested in seeing, which is also, I said a couple of times we've interviewed Tyrone. So Kintyre show is interesting. Let's see what's coming next. Let's see how much people like the real estate. We'll give them credit for being, I saw this when we were doing some analysis earlier this month in the group. They are at an astronomical PE. The PE is 0.27 times.
Sweet. So you're saying undervalued?
Yeah, they're definitely not saying undervalued. Yeah, I like it because you know how I stay. I always want to see, like, what is the limitation of each of the little things that we all use to
look at bro.
Gauge
So here's what I say. Here's what I say to that. Them lie, bro.
Oh.
And not people love said them use these things until these things in them face and they realize, oh, you can't only use these things. Everybody's all about everybody wants to live in the metrics until it's time until we reach real life, and then we hear, oh, I don't actually. It's when the decision comes down to those things, then the reality sets in. Like, oh, I don't make decisions on those things. Like, they can guide me and they can give me a picture. A big part of it is a lot of people don't actually know what those things are.
True. So it's just something to talk
I
about, right?
tell me what PE actually means, and you tell me the thing what people say. People say it's. So I love this because it's maths. It is when people can tell me what the function does, but can't tell me what the real life of it is. So again, how much of the company profit am I paying for? That don't mean nothing. That don't mean nothing. That literally doesn't mean anything. But people say it and they repeat it like whoa.
They repeat it like gospel. So
tell me the actual. So what does that do? What does that actually translate to for you who are investing your money? You take
Right.
$1 million on something. What do you mean by when you just what do you actually mean when you say, oh, I bought 20 of their profits for each dollar that I spent? What that mean?
Strong balance sheet, bro.
Exactly what it means. I've said nothing just now. It just sounds good for say.
It does sound good to say. It sounds very businessy.
It's funny. I've said it before. The PE actually does translate too, but I think that makes more sense. But the thing is, yeah, that's how these things is. This sound good for say, and if I don't say I do this, then I can't say I'm a big investor.
True, you have to fit in. So it allows you to fit in. Yeah, there's that annoying moment where you realize that, oh yeah, their metrics.
You don't look at PE, what I mean? You don't look at book value? How much of the conversation we've had?
Too many. I'm sick of them. But it's because I guess people never understood the being caught in that moment where you realize that, oh yeah, their return on equity is not my return on equity.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah, it's like
the profits I'm paying for don't actually work like that.
Yeah,
I don't actually see those profits in my pocket. It's not my profits that I get as thing. It's the profit of the thing I own at the end of the day. I get a piece of it as dividends. Oh, so when I buy it at a PE of 20 and they choose their dividend payout rate or whatever, and even then they probably did mistake to the thing them say, then what?
I don't know because I know better. For me, the Kintyre PE the debacle, the profit debacle is just like I want to see like where is the limit? You know, we say Marga till it pop. Where does it pop? Meaning, and it's not on Kintyre. It's like us as a market.
That's market. That's our investors.
Yeah.
So
at what point
are you making a decision at that point? At what point does that thing translate to real value for you?
And at what point does it stop?
Mm-hmm.
Like because you know we've seen it. They're extremely profitable now. Paper profit.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, this is an exercise in what are the limits of paper profit on this market, on the JSE. Where
at what point then?
Yeah,
because I mean here, even that like the discounting of paper profit. All right, cool, but there's a reality that paper profit is a real thing. It's not cash, but it does have its value, and there is something to be said about it, something to be done from it. So we're at what point do you get up and say, all right, this is valuable to me, and this is what I need. This is valuable to me, and this is what I'll be doing with that in mind.
Or this is not valuable to me, and it don't matter who does it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't respect it. Because I always joke and say, no, go ahead.
We've seen multiple times the paper profit suddenly start mattering, right? Or is valuable.
Well, it depends on
where the real estate revaluation is from the right enough person.
So this is a good example of that, right? This is almost all just paper revaluation, and it has been for a long time. It's been for like the last, like almost all of the profit is just paper profit is revalued, right? And that's why I like it, because I want to see. I love to see where you see the same thing, but from two different people doing the same thing, and how the two different people doing the same thing is viewed. And is it the same? I mean, I think maybe this whole revalue. I'm I shouldn't say I know. I
Okay.
don't know. But you're revaluing it to get your retained earnings positive. Look at that. Retained earnings are no positive. Yeah, because why not? You paper it up. It is positive. Love it or hate it, I paper it up. It's now positive. Positive enough that I can do a div in species,
dividend.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I paper it up to do a div in species, but that's not unique to him. How many takeovers have happened on the market, and then for the first few quarters, there's revaluations that happen to get the retained earnings to positive. And if you're thinking,
these
oh,
things
we
are
was
real,
just
they matter.
Yeah.
I'm not even saying that people don't matter, to be clear. The people do matter because it give you some idea of what's actually happening. What are you know, what do they typically do certain things with it or whatever? So sure, but everything we put in its place versus what I see as blind of, well, you know, I Tyrone something now.
Exactly,
Is
right?
XYZ some I will.
Exactly. Yeah. Like if you're actually looking at it, you have to find what the thing is and put some structure to it and not just put the name on it. Because then you will say something is bad, and when somebody else does it, it's good. Nobody doubts Seprad's profit. Seprad revalued to the tune of 2.5 billion. And just a piece of land. There's 2.5 billion. Nobody's saying, oh, you know, the PB Scott. Nobody's saying that.
Nobody's
right?
saying that.
But Tyrone does this, and it's yeah, well, you know, it's skin tire. Yeah, it is a joke thing. Yeah.
Blah blah blah.
And I'm not saying it's not.
That's the thing. You're not saying it's not, but then
should put it in its place. Put
I have a real conversation here. Yes.
Exactly.
True place, not its Tyrone place or its PB Scott place. Put everything in its true place.
Exactly. Because when it starts happening, because then if you bring somebody new into the market and they don't know, so they don't carry the emotional baggage
bias,
of
right,
the names of whatever, how do they know to separate John Brown from John Smith's actions when the action is the same? Right? Well, how come this is good here, but it's bad there? And of course, you have lots of ways you can say it's bad, right? 500 odd million in profit, and the cash is negative 4 million. So we can tell that you're bleeding, but you still have to be able to do the actual analysis and be realistic about the analysis on the actual thing and not just the person. Although there is room to include the consideration of the person. Yeah. But I don't know. So that's what I mean when I say I wonder where the limits of the where the limits of the paper profit, or where the thing is, because otherwise I'm also lost. I'm lost. I can know, say, okay, so if anything Tyrone do is rubbish. But if the same person does the same thing that's rubbish over there, is it still rubbish? Do I discount it?
What's it? Why discount it? Do you want to know the why? The most important question is the why.
Exactly. Exactly. As always. So the Kintyre show continues. Well, let me wrap that point asking Phil about it. So Phil, you said, Phil, you expected the rise. Did you get any other expected rise? But there was only really one with a blip of a rise this month, and then 30 cents, and then it hit its all-time low today, 19 cents.
Yeah.
Traded as low as 19 cents.
You never traded 18? That's my money here.
Oh, yes. It did trade as low as 18. Sorry. Closed at 19.
Closed at 19, yeah.
It traded as low as 18 cents. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of shares outstanding. It's going to be very difficult to move. Something major has to sustainably move the price. That's the way I see it. It's not impossible, but I think it requires something bigger, spin-off, or a lot of cash. some kind of cash, real cash infusion.
That's what I look into as well. I'm looking at cash, and I'm also looking at something that people can feel as tangible value. If I buy this, then maybe the spin-off is something I see as actually potentially valuable. But so maybe it's something that can generate cash, and I will get some benefit from that spin-off, whether a piece of it or some other sort.
Yeah, I spoke long ago at this point where
but if you start showing, if sales out of the move on for what they're doing, it pays off into the entity actually generating cash, and I can see where the narrative might just change.
Well, a plan. I don't think they had a plan. I did lay out some time back what I thought. When I was more interested in it, and I was thinking about, just as a challenge, like, yo, if you got the vehicle right now to drive, how could you fix it? And there are things that could be done, but the truth is all of them require actual value to be created. You have to actually do something worth. You have to actually do business. You can't talk. It's not a talking thing. Mm-hmm. It's not a yapping thing. It's not a pretty publication. It's not ChatGPT. Give me a public announcement to post this. It's actual business, right? I thinking like what, a month or two ago, we had people that were tagging the closed, not the closed signs, but like the signs that were before, not a month or two ago. Wow, before Melissa, you go back, we had one of the internal fans who shall not be named, tagging the different signs and the ones that were off and weren't working. And then Melissa happened, and then they're saying how many of them just never turn on. And then I saw a notice from the company this week talking about that, but we're in May. We're at the end of May. Mm-hmm. And Melissa was October last year. And I'm thinking about that because I thought, for Visual Vibe was probably the only part of the company that really generated any real money.
In cash, so somebody thought was he can't probably wear that stuff.
Yeah, and then the CEO or chairman made us aware, the public aware, that I guess companies were these are my words, not necessarily using the service or being moved off the service. And there's this trying to skirt the mix up, but like you're saying that there's companies that being told like if they use they're not pretty much you can't use the service. And again, I'm looking at that outside of the noise and the yapping and the mix up. I'm looking at that and going, is that business or not? Because if that business, that's a threat to the business.
Yeah, right. Those are the real headlines.
Exactly.
Real money.
And so that says that your only real cash generation arm is facing business headwinds. And I don't know who is running that side of things, because it's one thing I know from running that business is that you don't have a lot of time for Twitter. Yeah, even if you want to, I used to love Twitter. You don't have a lot of time for Twitter if you're actually doing business. And so I wonder like who is running that side of the business, right? Because who I thought was running it, I think left. So not that it's not happening, it's not moving. It's just those questions are there, and it's hard to get asked those questions or getting a real answer. You can't we can have a conversation about it here, but any other space, at least that I have tried to mention it in, is it's just Tyrone. So it get pushed away, and then it's like it is a listed company on the market. How do you have a real conversation about the listed company on the market? But hey, like I say, Andy B. Bimrock. Andy B. Bimrock. You're gonna forget a different name because it's hard to pronounce all of that. But he's saying, read a revaluation. I can't eat that. Funny enough, that's an example of it. So you say you can't eat that, but that's a dangerous sentence. Because are you willing to throw that out for every single other company in the market? Do you know how many other companies on the market have that? Mm-hmm. If we throw that out for them, and you're right, you can't eat it.
You can't. Okay.
But
there's no cash dividend coming from revaluation gains.
Right?
Unless you take a loan or something. And I don't see that really happening here.
Unless they
unless it does, but
well, unless they revalue as they're doing revalue to get the retained earnings up, and then you do a dividend specie, and the thing that you dividend specie has some value to it. So you know that's a convoluted road to walk, but you can walk there to get there.
Yeah, it can be done.
Yeah, and they can do it now. 300 mil. You think Visual Vibe is worth more than 300 mil right now? I don't.
I really don't know.
Parallel. What's Parallel worth in your mind?
Under Parallel.
Just real estate. I said just real estate, but
there's a lot of real estate.
Real estate is worthless.
I don't know.
Unless you have a market for it or you have enough money to develop it. We know they don't have the money to develop it. And the situation that they're in now, it'd probably better off to sell it. And also how much real estate really, because there's X amount of debt on the books, right? So like even if you went real estate, even if you sold the real estate, you have bills to handle.
Right.
And that's rough. It's part of why I still watch the show. It's still entertaining. It's still good. Yes, but it's like Game of Thrones, you know. It's a lot of noise and pomp and circumstance, but at the core of it, there's still some interesting things. It's like Succession. It's actually a comedy, but there's some serious stuff in there. And at the core of it, there's still some serious stuff. So hey, who knows? Anyway, I don't work there. So good luck to them. But thank you, Phil, for that. Well, I don't know if you answered the question, Phil, if you actually touched it at all or made any money off it.
No, not really. I still hold a few shares, and I'm in it for the show. I want to see success for Tyrone and for the you know, like it really proves can go to prove that point that listed companies are a hard thing to kill.
Hey, I mean, it is proving that point wonderfully, right?
Yeah, year after year, month after month, quarter after quarter. So I look forward to what happens at the other side of this. But no, I didn't really make any money off it. Whether or not I'm buying here is a question. I think there's a little bit more. There are a lot more options on the market at the moment that come with a little less risk.
A little.
Come with a lot less risk. But and the truth is, a lot of my concern does come down to how many shares they have outstanding.
Oh, okay. The 2.8 billion.
2 billion.
And at this point, again, you see why I asked about the how much 100 million shares that's issued, because if that's issued and not just crossing, if it's issued shares, then we might be touching 3 billion.
Yeah. Makes you wonder.
And 3 billion pieces of nothing is nothing.
Very few companies on the market have 2 billion. Like you're talking about SVL and GK, and not even GK.
Yeah.
SVL and Wheaton and TransJamaica have them kind of numbers.
Yeah, SVL have 2.6. Damn. SVL have 2.6. Kintai have 1.92. What I think it was 2.8. Sorry, 1.92. So becoming close, we'll be, I was saying, touching 2 billion, not 3. Okay. But I mean, SVL is SVL.
Right. Massive companies.
Yeah.
Yeah, SVL. SVL is another one. SVL is actually what I've been trying to put some money into with expectations. I see I'm not the only one, because they still have a lot of insider buying.
Consistently.
Consistent insider buying.
Consistent.
Yeah.
And they had their AGM yesterday.
I haven't watched that yet. How was it?
Boss was very hype.
Yeah.
Even more than usual, I think.
Yeah.
But I think they're looking forward to the full rollout of their wallet. So I'm assuming that they're expecting to make some money from that.
Or their wallet. Their
Evo.
central bank linked wallet.
Yeah. Evo Cash.
They might they as we're having that conversation in advanced growth, they may be one of the few entities that have something attractive to make the actual digital currency.
Well, yes. There's something on the back of it that has a strong amount of participation already versus we're this
Already.
one.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And we don't do anything different from your card.
Yeah, there are USPs. They're having that network. They already have the network of people. They already have the network. They already have the network of people also. They already have the infrastructure, the tech infrastructure. They have access to more. They actually stand maybe the best
and
chance.
They have a money moving machine.
Yeah. They stand maybe the best chance of doing it successfully.
Whenever I see this, I'm like, yo, the bank looks strong, bro.
Yeah.
I think about that. That's more banking, because so the money doesn't leave even more so.
No,
even when money is left, it's there.
Yeah.
There's something on that. Yeah, that is.
I'm thinking, if they use the wallet to back like everything that they do with Supreme, or Evolve, or Supreme Life, or Evolve, or whatever, and I think the smart thing is if you don't make a big deal about the currency, like just make it back everything. So don't make, like, if you tell me, just like you saw the BOJ has tried for how many years. I don't care about the central bank digital, the JAMDEX. I don't care. I don't care. Right? But at the core of it, money, they're like, digital money. Money's already digital. Yeah, money's already digital. It's numbers on a screen. Right? I don't check my bank account by going to the bank and asking them. I don't know where my bank book is or anything. Money's already digital, right? Yeah. I can go to the ATM and get physical cash, but money's already digital. If SVL leans on that and uses the digital currency at the back of their network, but just don't make a big deal about it, just call it money, because it's one-to-one with JMD anyway, they might stand the best chance. And I think there's some stuff with there's some stuff with like the BOJ's rules, something around, maybe no as it is, like you can't have, like, there's some limitations around amounts that can be in a single wallet or whatever, at least for now. And take that with a grain of salt. I don't work for BOJ, I could be wrong. But there's limitations around it. But SVL touches the core of Jamaica. It's not like that many Jamaicans have 100 grand, right? But if I have 50 grand in my Scotia account, I don't actually see it in cash. I have it as a number on my screen. If I have 50 grand in my Supreme account, it's a number on my screen. And if I can pay my light bill with it, I can pay my light bill with it from Scotia, I can pay my light bill with it from here. And then it becomes something that you're successful with a currency when the currency is not the important thing, which is something that all of the God forbid, I know, please don't beat me up, but the crypto guys didn't understand, or don't understand. Like, if your currency is the important thing, then you're still losing. I don't care about the money. I care about what I can do with my money.
It's a transaction.
Exactly.
Not the actual money.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, no, I don't want $500. I want only $100 bills. I don't care about the currency. I care about the value of the thing. SVL has probably maybe the best chance of doing that by just not making the currency a big deal. It's just backing it, and then just put a little sweetener on it. So I don't know. You pay your light bill with that, then they pay 5% of the light bill for you. But if you pay it with the regular money, then you have to pay your full bill. I would immediately, right? Immediately. If I buy credit with it, I get 10% more credit. I'm immediately going to lean on it.
Because they eat off a transaction.
Well,
eat off
no,
the usage.
maybe just that, just to drive adoption.
Mm.
We should stop doing consultancy work for billion-dollar companies for free. Anyway,
But the thing is that they have a lifetime, but they have years of data that they they know the volumes of people and money going through their network.
Which is why that 100,000 limit is like that. They know how much. Like that's why I said most Jamaicans don't have 100,000. So you still touch most Jamaicans if that's the limit. And I'm remembering stuff wrong, so I could be off. But yeah, they stand the best chance, I think, to actually drive actual adoption of the thing. And the secret, I think, is to not make the currency the big deal. Just make it incidental and put a sweetener on it.
Mm-hmm. It's always been interesting to me that I think it's very much similar to the money thing. The emphasis a lot of people put on the currency existing and being, and we have a currency or whatever. It's very similar to me as the company's thing there. Thing there. Their return on equity is not my return on equity. It's a very similar thing. It's I'm going to care about this. I care. I think my customer cares about the same thing I care about. So I'm not caring about what the customer cares about. I'm caring about my product, and I think the customer cares about the product existing and not what the product does for them.
Exactly. So
let me market the product to you by telling you I have the product. We have this, we have this money thing. I'm not telling you what it does for you. I'm not telling you anything there. In fact, I'm telling you the features of money. Like, we already have that. It's not easy to access. There's nothing about it that's different from just money. Like, in fact, it's money that's harder to access. My dad not paying me that.
And you can have less places to use it, at least until this network kicks in. And
so how is that your marketing? How is you telling me about the thing? Ended up as you telling me you have the thing. No. So yeah, it's always been interesting to me. That's the marketing I'm good on.
Yeah. But I mean there's effective marketing and then there's marketing. Or I should say there's marketing and then there's effective marketing. And effective marketing oftentimes doesn't look or sound like
marketing.
Exactly. Yeah. I know that very, very well. Well, yeah, that's SVL. So SVL is your May pick.
Yeah. Again, I need stuff.
Again, yeah, man. Listen, for you, almost more than me. I want it almost more than me. I want SVL to rise for you because God no. Yeah, man. They need to move and they have a couple of things that I'd love for them to do, but we'd have turned to the SVL show.
Man.
But that rise for the people who may have bought the dip at the start of April, the rise to the end of May is a wonderful rise, right? Went from 1307 to 1691.
The lowest buy I have was 1350.
1350, wow.
Buying.
To 1691, we have 30% there, but from 1350 to 25% in a month. No excitement, no noise, but 25% in a month. Or 2 months, sorry. You're going from the middle of April, a month and a half, to the end of May.
Nice, quite opportunity.
Yeah, if you can get it, yeah. And that's, I think, maybe the story of May so far. Any disappointments for you from May? And I jumped to one of the other speakers, guys. So we have a couple of people that sent us speaking requests. And remember, guys, 2 things. You can send a speaking request. We'd love to hear from you. We want to hear what you like from me. We're not going to be here all night. So please send a speaking request if you want to talk. If you want us to go over anything, if you have anything you want to talk to us about or you want to hear our views on. And as I said, I will give away 2 grower tickets to tomorrow's grow. To two people who have the most compelling story or whatever. So it's that simple. You just have to talk about something interesting, and there's two there for you. I didn't have a image or anything to have you guys guess, and I couldn't be bothered to do one of that. So it's as simple as a story. So anyway, Phil, what's your we hear what your dream is for the month or the months to come? What was maybe a disappointment for you for May?
Oh, I should say I was a little bit disappointed in JC's results because that came out in May, right?
I think so. Maybe we'll see.
I was hoping to see. Well, I mean, we did speak about this on I think it's last week, BrickTalk. About
They had their AGM this month.
They had their AGM yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
but their the Q1 results came out in May, in the middle of May.
Mm-hmm.
I was hoping to see some clarity there on whether or not and how much they are getting for the marketing of the GOJ bonds. But also, generally speaking, I find it kind of looks to me like they're increasing their expenses are increasing out of keeping with their revenues in some ways, not in a linear way, but I'm kind of hoping that they get that formula better.
Okay. I mean, the expenses are lower this Q1 than last year's Q1.
Are they lower to the same extent that the revenues are lower?
No, they're about half. So the revenues were lower by to 17.92. Expenses were lower by 8.7.
Yeah.
Profits were lower by 43%.
Somebody should tell them that they're a tech company.
Better you than me. I mean, real hope. I think they have a couple of great things happening for them. With all of we have Barita about to move. We have the First Rock APO.
Yes.
We have the Sagicor about to move. We have maybe a possible debt raise again by dollar. We have Qantas about to list. 5 so far. All 5 of those come with
evolve move might be a capital market. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not.
Oh, the
but
dollar,
if there's excitement around, SVL, that may increase around that dollar evolve move, and SVL, that might increase trading volumes in a very popular stock, in 2 very popular stocks. So yeah.
Volumes in what? In which 2 very popular? Barita and
no, the ones that you said in addition to SVL and dollar, depending on how they structure things.
Okay.
Yeah. True. There may be some light, hopefully.
I mean, let's see. I'm still. I mean, like I said, I have a new CEO, so let's see what the new CEO's direction is.
Mm-hmm. That is important.
Yeah, extremely important to see the CEO drives things so much. Like I saw in group they were mentioning well, let me not go on a tangent, but it's something about leadership matters a whole lot. So JSC is your dark. I know we saw SVL as your silver lining, Sir Phil.
Yeah, man.
All right, big up. We'll hear from you in a moment. Let me hear from Dot, not Jevi Sosa, who has been waiting very, very patiently.
Good night.
Night. What's up? How you doing?
No, boss. What's up?
There. Just what's up with you guys?
Slow May, maybe great May, may not.
Great me. Very, very great.
Into the Marians.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. One thing in particular really stood out, which mainly happened yesterday, really the issuance of new shares for General Accident. I guess that
Which is
deal
the number
is
one, by the
very
way.
soon.
The number
Very,
one
very soon
gainer
to
on
be
the market
complete. Yep. I think it's a
for the month.
50% rise in the month.
Yes,
With
50.2%
50%
rise in share price for the month of May. Yeah,
alone,
GENAC.
right? So really saw the first, I would say, basically the ending part of that acquisition, the issuance of shares, the new directors, all of that coming in. There's still space for one more director and still space for approximately 149 million shares still left to be issued, plus a lot more of that, about 9 million of the preference shares still left to be issued. So I guess later in the year, something else on that price seemed to have been propping up a lot. Because this is one of I wouldn't say illiquid, but units kind of scarce on some days and not so scarce on others.
Boy, while you were talking, I was looking at the queue, and there are 3 orders in the sell queue. One for 996, one for $219, 219 units.
And that 996 was kind of bigger today. Like it was like 3,000 something units, and then it stayed there. Some units came off at the end of the day as well.
Yeah, 2,251 units traded out of it today.
Yeah.
So this is so there's three orders in the sell queue. One for 219 units, one for 5,350 units, and one for $20 at 1.89 million units. Which
from the couple weeks ago, where the removal of that 25 million, that broker link 25 million, the price has exceeded that by far.
the broker linked what? What was the broker linked what?
The broker link 25 million that was in the sell.
What was the price?
At $8. It was removed one morning, and then it halted up. That's the very morning. Passing the 8.
I suspect there's some, I don't say trouble, but some negotiating happening there. I don't know. You feel any regret around this, then, eh? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't, but that I don't have enough. This is so I've come on this show multiple times to say, you know, I don't have enough,
Yeah.
And there are multiple times where the Monterey could have bought and still be in profit.
Oh yeah, it's as if I know, definitely. Definitely.
I exited within the month and came back again and still had profit.
All right. Love that for you, not for me.
Yeah, I remember a conversation around the $8 point. And you got sold some at 8. Wow. I mean, 1.3 million units traded in the middle of the month for 673. Average price of 673.
I think that day was when the 25 million units were deleted. That order was deleted, and that happened.
May 15th.
And that's the same day I think the result came out. The article in the Observer came out, and it just gone after that.
And the article, what was it touching the whole?
It was touching about the acquisition, about what is to happen, and all of that.
Well, I'm looking at that acquisition, and we've spoken about it before, so I won't spend too much time on it. But
spoken about it long before. We spoken about the
yeah,
possibilities of it way before, and that's when we're like, yo, I'm buying. Or they're not moving to the main market. I have to get some. Got some. Not enough.
yeah.
I'm waiting on whatever. The thing happened, but the thing is, when it became very up. I mean, it's also very. We had a conversation at the start of the year. That I'm a bit jumping around here. But I'll get to the point. At the start of the year, the conversation around buying, making certain buys, concentrating in everything, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That was a part of it. Because the reality is, it's not that I wasn't doing something else when I didn't buy GENAC. You get me? It's not like
Mm-hmm.
another play wasn't happening. That's really what happens, right? So
Yeah.
when the thing comes out and I have more clarity and have certain expectations around it, I was doing something else. The money was doing something else. So I just never went there with it. So
Yeah.
that's it. But the truth is, though, there are timelines and I could have get up and make a move there. Just, yeah.
Boy. Well, I mean, we know better. We know that there's never a miss it point, right? It you might look like you miss it, no, but I wonder about this current. I wonder about this current push and like how long it can last if there isn't going to be a little bit of a break in it.
Yes, that's what I was wondering as well. When if the price is at where it's at now
Mm-hmm.
and the issuance of the new shares, because the new shares are automatically valid at that price, that close price or the top bid, or it is valid at that amount,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? And the shares are to pay for the acquisition. So I wonder if the propping up of the price have something to do with that. And then when all of that is concluded, price will probably dip a little.
Uh-huh. Well, I mean that's a thought, but I mean, war game that. Think about what that implies, what you just said. Because let me be very clear in how I'm speaking here. Who would they be doing that for?
Mm-hmm.
Because I say Epley, but the Massey Group already
The,
owns
the thing is,
the thing, right?
Mostly.
if it's the
Musson, sorry, I
Trinidad
said Massey.
people got
Sorry,
the new
Musson.
shares, the Trinidad people got the new shares.
That is true. But
New shares. What?
yeah, man. So the issue
Oh,
there was,
okay. I get what you're saying. Yes, I get what you're
yeah,
saying. Sorry, my bad. Continue.
It's not
and
Epley. And I think what is to come with the other set of new shares now will be towards Epley.
All right, well, I'm just opening GENAC for it.
Because
That
the
is.
the dilution of it brought down Musson's
ownership stake.
per ownership stake to like
Mm-hmm.
69%.
You'll find it interesting. Beacon was bought by Musson, not by GENAC.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the deal there is you're getting some GENAC shares in the final. You're getting some shares in the final entity, of course. But so the move we've seen so far is a part of that, but nothing. But so we're seeing it being paid for with the final entity, but it hasn't come over yet.
How does that work?
And the fact that they said GENAC will own 70% of Beacon, that means 30% will be owned by Musson because
By
it wasn't
another
that
party.
100%.
By another
Another party.
party.
But
Yeah.
it might be Musson, but another party. You don't
Yeah.
know yet.
Yeah.
Don't know. Knowing is a the deal. It's
Yep.
no. Always figure out what you know and what you don't know, and it's a thing we do often. We tell ourselves what we know when we don't know.
Especially in this case, this is like one of the three. Is it three? Two. That'd be nice. Three sets of parties on the market that
Intentional.
very intentional with what they say. Very careful with what they say. Every word matters. Yeah.
The thing is that what they said in the initial thing last November was that Musson bought 100%.
I don't. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that is not contradictory. That is
Yeah.
not contradictory.
Right.
So what I'm saying. So I'm saying is, you know that, you know what they said. So you know who bought 100%,
Yeah.
and
So
you know what will happen for GENAC.
So they're going to retain the 30.
That's what I'm saying.
So you see, that's the part that you're adding.
You might be right, you know. You might be right, you know, but you might be wrong too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They never said that they retain the 30.
Is there a possibility that they may sell that 30 or may issue that 30 to somebody else?
But also, here's a big thing too. GENAC only have to speak for GENAC. So GENAC only has to tell you what's happening for the they don't have to tell you no, but they're telling you what's happening for the 70. They don't have to tell you what's happening for the 30 until the 30 show itself.
I don't know if GENAC even have to tell you what's happening for the 30 ever. It's not their 30.
No, it wouldn't.
Yeah.
It would just be NCA.
But here's the thing. What's 30? Like how 30 work?
30 is over associate.
30 is the legal minimum for listing in Trinidad.
I thought about that listing point as well.
I don't know that's what's happening. I just know that.
But also the scene, because like Ace Bride.
Because I thought of a main market listing over here for Beacon.
Cool. Yeah, I'm not saying no, you know. I'm just saying that in Jamaica, it's 20. You have to give up at least 20%. And as far as I know, maybe it's changed, but as far as I know, the law in Trinidad is 30. You have to give up 30 if you're going public. So you know, you don't know, you never know. Listed and think of who the drivers of this vehicle are. Think of their MO, right? What have they done?
Right.
Yeah, Bryden is listed. Yes, Bryden and Sons is listed in Trinidad, right?
In Trinidad.
Exactly. Yeah, that's that. It's exciting when you think of it that way, and then when you consider what that might mean, because it's also a great way to get your own. Like if I'm paying this much for the thing, you have to in as long as the cost of capital is lower than the value of the asset that you get. And one of the ways to guarantee the value of the asset that you get is to list the value of the asset that you get at whatever the price is that you choose to list it at. And at that point, it is what it is, right? Listing price has a value to it that can be done. We saw them do it all with, say, Ace Biden, but they did that same sort of thing with AHPC.
Yes.
Yeah. In fact, it's the same way. Lumber and GENAC and who else? And Construct Group and a conglomerate of people. A few parties came together and they bought Atlantic, and then the price that they initially paid for it is a valuation price, and that has some value to it. And then the price that they listed it at was, higher than that price, relatively speaking. And that listing price, the offer price, also has some value to it, right? In fact, the second the prospectus come out there, you have done a valuation.
It's valid.
Yeah.
Value of it already.
Exactly. And right up until day one, up until it trades, you have that level one, but you'll always have the level one as long as it remains listed. But that there's a nice period within which we have done an offer, prospectus is out, so it has that price, but it's not trading yet. There's nothing yet, but it's out, and that's the value of the thing. And when you think along those lines, you can do a whole lot with that. A whole lot with that. Especially if I mean, how much, I'm not thinking that this is what's happening, but suppose you are selling shareholder and you're selling the 30%. Like, what kind of valuation could you put on Beacon? In fact, back of the envelope, then what kind of valuation you think how much you think you'd value Beacon at? And I'll tell you the thing that I'm right now. I'll tell you what I'm using right now for it. I think they said that combined it makes the GENAC.
They measure it against GENAC's thing. They measure it and say what it will do for GENAC's revenue, didn't they?
Yeah, 20. It makes a book 20 mil. 20 mil US or 20 bill?
20 billion.
Gross.
Projected gross written premiums in excess of 20 bill annually.
So I'll do a measure of, what is that?
I'm thinking.
What is it? How much of an increase is that?
I want to say a little more than half.
Above double?
Or a little bit more than double or so.
A little bit more than double, about 150%.
No. Well. Insurance revenue for GENAC, no, 13. I feel like they said a different number previously.
The first number was 32.
Yes, in the material disclosure. Excess of 32 billion. Yeah, GENAC's gross written premiums are projected to be in excess of 32 billion annually. That's November last year. And now this year, closer to the thing.
No, they said
20.
Projected
Gross written premiums in excess of 20 billion annually. So somewhere along the way, 10 got lost. Or maybe the 10 is in the 30. So maybe
in excess compared to
I mean,
why it goes so far.
Yeah,
that's a big difference. That's a big thing.
I think maybe Beacon's results, I think maybe there's one of those contingent buys where, based on certain results will give you a certain amount of money, which is why they had the preference shares, the variable preference shares plus the shares. And then if the results don't come into the level that you expect or level that we hope, because you never really know what you're buying and you can't do that in the negotiation, then you get this, you get that. And so it's a bit of a lower number. And we're also doing the 70-30. So,
so it's in there, it's somewhere in the 20s.
Exactly. And then when you take the 30 out of it, then it works out like 7. Meaning 6 odd 7 from Beacon and the other 13 from GENAC. Either way though. Wonderful if you do it. And you can, so if you're looking at it and you're thinking 20 bill, well, 7. 20 in all, no, is what they're saying. And up to the end of last year, the insurance revenue was 13. So 7 bill.
It might be healthy above thing that healthy above 20.
Ideally.
Yeah.
Ideally.
So it could be 27, something like that, Could be.
Yeah. But I mean, this is just the business. We're talking the business. So let's give it a 20 and let's put that to 7. And so 7 in rev. And these guys carry margins of what? See, they carry margins of, I don't know if you know off the top of your head.
I do not.
No, I was going to ask Jevy if you know off the top of your head.
Oh, GENAC's gross margin?
Yeah. Or net?
No.
Net margin.
Oh, net. Hold on, a bit here.
I mean, I think it's single digits. 3-4%.
Yes.
Yeah. So 4% against, let's say you say 4% against 4% against 7 bill. What does that look like? And we're assuming here that they have the same sort of margins that GENAC does, which they may not. It's like a 200, 240, 250 bill, 240, 250 mil profit annually. And then you can list that 2.5 billion. You can list something like that at 2.5, 2.5 bill if you had 10x.
It's a huge deal.
I mean, their last, the Beacon's last results was 57%.
57% what? Net profit margin?
Net insurance margin.
What was it? Go net profit.
Net profit?
Yeah. It's a huge deal either way. I mean, I think if we're already saying 2.5 billion on the low end as a listing, if you think in the size of the listing, although 2.5 billion, you can go 2.5 billion junior market though. Can go even more than that, no. But they can't go junior market.
No.
Yeah, but
There's a bean market.
Yeah.
Bean market.
Well, they'd have to go to main market. They can't go junior.
Yeah, because the rules.
Yeah. It's funny still how I don't know. I thought at this point we'd have more brokers, pushing
Net
more.
2%.
2% net profit margin.
Yeah.
And that sound good. 2% net profit margin on 7 bill. That's
14.
Yeah, 4. Yeah. I mean, I still think 2.5 billion as a listing. It's not like that's a light listing either. 2.5 billion as a listing, and you go.
And it's insurance, There's a lot in living at the top. There's a lot of living at the top, not necessarily. Profit nice and thing there, but that sounds like I'm saying it. I'm not saying anything untowards about profit, but insurance, specifically, there's a big thing for them with their cash flow and their top end, their revenue.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of money. There's a lot of money they make on the back of that.
Yes, and it's not like they're going into the insurance business.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Yeah.
this is being already strong thing.
This is just scale.
It's somebody big already.
Yeah. Matter of fact, this is better for GENAC. Yeah. This reduces.
The continuous thing there. It's just such a beautiful machine, bro.
Yeah. Andy B. Bimrock says, Andy B. Bimrock, better if you join us and say these things, to be a bit speculative, which I'm reading the same way I hear when people tell me random. I ask them tell me a random number, and a random number is 7.34 or something. Could it be a liquid alternative partial exit point for old owners and be part of joining a larger regional entity? I mean, yeah, it is.
That's what I expect.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. But we're moving past that here. That's their balance sheet. We're looking at our balance sheet. That if they list it, what could it be listed at? If you have the dream listing, 2.5 billion, and 30% of that listed, 750 mil. I don't know, that's so 2.5, 750 mil, 2.5. I wanted to go junior, but that's me just picking that out of the air.
Yeah, I don't think it will.
Yeah. There's no need for it to go junior. Exactly. What's the benefits of the Trinidadian junior market? I don't think them really have. There are some benefits, but I don't remember what they are.
Yeah.
I don't think they're that great though.
Compared to Jamaica market, no. I don't think so.
I mean, there are lesser market compared to us, but that's just because us Jamaicans are. And the people not joining us, but I won't go through the list. I will have Jerry Mackett per time. Yeah, I mean, I think I was excited about it last week. I was excited about it the week before. I'm still excited about it. I didn't realize what the queue looked like. No, though. This is a very, very, very interesting queue. Then if you buy it, tell me before you buy it, yeah, because this is this is a serious look.
Oh, it hit the all-time high today. Yeah. The
Oh,
all-time
word.
high, yeah. 992.
996.
996. 996, yeah.
Ooh, that's no joke. That's no joke. And it's suitable because, again, but the one I know we're talking about is outside of the possibility to make money. And you'd have heard us talk about this a few times on BrickTalk.
Over the last few months,
Mm-hmm.
there has been a consistent pattern with it. So
yeah, what's the pattern?
Very consistent pattern with it. Like it would halt up. It would halt up various halts throughout the week. Like 2-3 halts throughout the week. And some of those halts are broker linked orders, just wiping out the buy queue with it. Going all the way down to 5.
I wonder.
Right? And then some large orders, broker linked orders in the buy queue, full it up again. Then next day, halt up back on little bit of units, like probably 2 units.
I mean, there's just always
so much.
Yeah, it's tightly held.
The volume very low on the sell side all the time, except for that one day,
which didn't last.
Which was just one day. There are a few orders on that one day that were there for a couple weeks, but on that one day, that's the most it has ever traded for the 52 weeks.
Look like a storm looked like before it reached. Imagine that. It's a good story of the market. And it's one of those things where it's not trans Jamaica. If you not like, there's so much more in the market, but 50%. 50% just in this month. For the last year, it has moved, I think, 75%. Like if you look at the 1 year period, it has moved 75%, I believe. But 50% out of 50 out of 75% is just this month.
Yep.
Yeah, 75.5% movement over the last 1 year, but 50 out of it is from May 11th till today. Oh, wow. Lucky again to own peace. And I sold a little bit at 8 and feeling that, Jesus Christ, why I did sell some? Why I sell it for now?
Save. Woke up late, so the big order move on mine sell.
Yeah, I didn't mind it at all.
And the B had the same thought I had. Maybe I own a good chunk.
Yeah, and I want to talk to you about it. I want to hear what Jerry Mac said first. Jerry Mac, what's up?
Jerry, what's good?
And if Jerry hearing us? Like Jerry dropped the phone. All right, when him pick it back up, him can jump in. In the meantime,
nice
no.
one.
Oh, sorry. I'm so sorry. No, keep going. I'm sorry. It's a conversation. You can jump in, so I don't mind.
Another nice one this month. Not particularly today, but up to yesterday. Sterling Investments.
What about Sterling Investment? SIL.
Yep.
What about them? And get cut off?
Okay. Yeah, it's just the trading of that really intrigued the past few months. The volumes the past few months on 7 days, and with that pension fund increasing their stake continuously, I assume it's them. And
why you assume it's
they're
them?
really every Because the top 10, when you see the
Oh.
changes in the top 10, they
Mhm.
have been consistently buying it up
Mhm.
almost to an associate stake,
Mhm.
right?
I did
And
not
I
realize
wonder
that.
if it's going to stop anytime soon.
I don't know. So it's so funny. Sterling is one of my personal, like, interesting stocks. When I say interesting, I hate the word interesting, but it has some use to it. It has a lot of utility, actually. Sterling, I mean, it exists. Some would say it exists for the pensions, right?
Definitely.
Yeah, but have you ever bought it? You ever buy it, Danai?
Not that I remember. Not that I remember.
This is the first month in my life I've ever bought Sterling.
No.
Yeah.
I've bought it for a while and exited and re-entered, exited, re-entered.
Hear the money, man. I mean, I had no judgment on my side as an owner of Sterling for maybe 30 or 40 seconds. But Sterling is such an interesting stock. It's one of the stocks that most people don't know about. Most people don't talk about it. It's dual currency, which is,
Dual
if you
currency.
understand, if you
I've
understand,
never done it. I've never done the dual currency with it, though, but I understand that it is.
It is. And they have like so many things that we do on the market in Jamaica, we rename things our own way. So they have a drip, right?
Yeah.
They do have their own. They have a very interesting dividend reinvestment plan, and it's just interesting. I say, anybody interested, anybody hearing this, go and look it up. Go mymoneyja.com/stock/SIL and look it up and just read about the stock. See, look at the history of it. But this is a good example, going back to something we were talking about earlier, of why you can't just write off something on just the name. You have to look at if you're writing it off, write off on like the tenets of the thing. Yeah, like an APO, right? On the tenets of the thing. But because Sterling issues shares like, whoa.
Yeah, regularly.
All the time. Yeah, constantly.
But it's always a little amount every quarter.
And what's the function? What's going on? What's actually happening?
It's the drip.
Yeah.
It's the dividend. You can get your dividend as shares. And then all the insiders
or the
get their dividends as shares.
Get it as shares. Yes.
Yeah. So they have a drip, and I've heard it said that you can get it. I've never bothered to get. Obviously, I've only owned it for the first time this month. But I've heard it said that anybody can get it. But I know the insiders don't play around. They do get it a lot. They do always.
Yes. If you look at the board members part of LMJA for it and track it back, yep. So them get it all the time.
Yeah. They're always increasing.
I think this quarter was last quarter, March quarter, they didn't actually get any.
Yeah, the most recent quarter is because like Charles Ross is on the top 10 and he didn't. But if you go back to June 2025, he's there getting
September.
Yeah,
June.
September. Yeah, but because I know about it, I know that you can get it as you can get the dividend as in shares, and so you think about that. That's a constant stream of dilution, but because of all the other factors around it, it don't. Well, again, it's not a very known thing, right? And again, I don't own it, so the share price doesn't really do anything great. It is very, very stable, very, very, very stable.
Well, yeah, for a couple of weeks, it can earn a 15% here and there.
Yes,
every couple of weeks, but it's very stable. It's constantly kept between like 298 and 350 constantly.
Yo,
and
know it.
Yesterday was just an anomaly where it's a market order, a market sell order, and it just wiped out the entire buy queue.
And yesterday was the first time I bought some. I owned some.
It was only one order left, and it was about like 700 units that were left in the buy queue. That was the only thing that was left today. Or yes, today. It was today. Yeah.
The thing that happened yesterday though, the 350, there was a big 350.
350.
Yeah.
Yes, there was a big 350 yesterday.
And I say it's very, very, very interesting. So that's it. Very, very interesting. It was because it was an iceberg. But I don't know if it's an iceberg or it maybe somebody doing like a manual iceberg. But it was an iceberg because you see it's refilling every time, the 350, and people like me enjoyed the presence of it, especially because the USD.
Yeah, I was selling into it. Yeah.
Well, you and me both, and we're not the only ones, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so the USD also helped with that because there's a wonderful sellout on the USD side for 2 cents, $2 cents, and you can do your math on that.
Comparison.
Yeah, there we go. 160, so $3.20, $3.20. And if somebody is looking to buy it at 350 is more than 320. And somebody paid a light bill off that. But yeah, and opportunities. I was actually thinking of this earlier when I was talking to Dan and I was saying that opportunities just show up all the time.
Yep.
Yeah,
but
Yep. Very, very liquid for sure, but it can be done. It can be done.
Yeah, I didn't want to really talk about the whole thing publicly because I changed my strategy now where I'm tired of giving away things. So like I try to give away. Like there's so much more. I'd love to talk about this. So much more, but it's all right. Come to grow tomorrow. You can learn about it. You can learn about a lot of things, including this. Not you. I just mean generally the people looking on. Yeah. or if you want to come to grow to, that's cool. But like I said, I'm giving away two grow tickets, but it is what it is. Yeah, Sterling was interesting to me. It's the first time I'd bought any yesterday. But I've been watching it from long before in terms of like just how interesting a company it is.
I'm seeing that today when it halted, it took off an order and it said maybe reversed. You may be reversed by market control.
What was that? What? Oh, you mean you saw an order that said that today?
Yeah.
But it didn't. Well, one was reversed.
No, it never reversed.
What didn't reverse? This
It
order.
showed that it said maybe reversed by market order, market control. As we know what it was, but it wasn't reversed.
Word.
Because that's my buy order.
Oh, well.
Confirmation, the man said, be no.
Yeah, you know what? Talk to your broker on Monday.
As I was to say, make sure you're good.
I hope it's not reversed.
It may not be reversed. I might have some work to do to go off of this to make sure, but I understand why it
just saw it.
Yeah, well, remember it's T+1
today. It was fine
T+1. Yeah. You can be sure that it didn't reverse Monday evening.
On Monday.
Yeah. Well, I've felt that pain before.
Yes, sir. I've been there.
Trust me.
You look for your shares because honestly, if I just check in and then you say, wait, I made a play out of you're just looking at your shares and you're not seeing the shares you bought. And T+2 come, T+1 come. But I don't think I've had it since T+1, but T+2 come and then no shares. So you call on JC and you say, boy, you get reverse from boss. So you know, Randy, you know what happened to me the first time I reached me?
Oh, what was that? With what?
SVL. Way back in the day when it was just climbing, and I got to that 9 right before it finally hit 12s. And I'm telling me, say reverse the way we did vex, bro. I was working at a broker at the time too. And I raised it with JC because the broker I was working at, where the account was, so I'm bringing to the man. So I'm just trying to make sure I get my shares. And
that did.
Everybody abandoned me, bro. And them said, it was even like, it even felt like, yo, let's not make this a problem.
Yeah, like who are you?
I couldn't see. Honestly, so JSC, the people I was working with, was this guy telling me that. So it felt like, oh, John, but not me.
No, what I say is no comment. That's what I will say. I felt that pain before. I've no comment. No comment. People should check it more. People use the JCSD portal. Check out the JCSD portal from the JSC and jcsd.jamstackx.com and check and it works for every broker. No matter who you are with, it works for every broker. You can also use the My Money JA Connect tool while you're there, and it can help you to see what your actual portfolio looks like properly and catch things. And you might be surprised about some of the things that you may be surprised. That's what I'll say. So check it out. mymoneyja.com/connect and go to jcsd.jamstackx.com. And if you're watching this on YouTube, just play it back over to hear what I said. Oh yeah, it is a special kind of pain. I guess for you, Dan, I would have been rougher because where do you?
It's the first I'm actually seeing it, like experienced it. First, I'm experiencing it.
Well, maybe you do experience it. Maybe we're wrong on MMJA, but
yeah,
we have a track record, and it's not usually us that's wrong. We're not the ones that are usually wrong.
Before I set it on normal, look at the trading
range
limits, the range, right? And I set down one probably some weeks ago, right? And yesterday, when it went to the 350, the range changed drastically. So it put my own kind of near the lower bones, way near. Because it went down 22% to catch mine. So normally it was set to like 15% to catch mine, but now it's 22% to catch mine.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the numbers in my head like that, so I'm not going to guess, but I know I will check it after, and I'll tell you to check your broker Monday, because I've like here than I said, I've had that pain. I said it's not so bad if it happened to you, and you say don't work in a moment, but it's painful because it got through.
Yeah,
man, you're good.
Reverse.
Yeah, but that I say check for sure. I've checked for shares.
Yeah, add the shares to the portfolio already.
Bro. So it wasn't even like a situation like this where market control. Up to now, we can't see a good reason why the thing about it, right? So it was back in the day when JC was doing so. You remember them days, Randy? When they were figuring out how the rules really work and all that on the platform. There was them days, and I can't. Maybe I have to look back at it, but back then I was like, yo, there's no reason I don't own those shares at 9.
Boy, they'll tell you that there's no time at all that they were figuring it out. They always knew. Maybe we were figuring it out. Did I give them that grace? Because you know that go. How many times have we reinterpreted the circuit breaker rule? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Big up the circuit breaker rule. We've moved so wonderfully along a spectrum with that rule now, where I respect that rule so much. Like, I wouldn't think that you could put that level of depth in something that seems so simple.
The guy, you know, bro. Us figuring that out was there, but the biggest game changers, trust me.
Yeah.
Then trust me like you don't know.
Yeah.
For the rest of you guys, trust me.
Yeah. The circuit breaker, the pre-open, those two things are, and the pre-open is like a higher level than the circuit breaker too. But there's so much depth in there. Anyway, that's a great. I thank you for mentioning this. You mentioned two painful things I would never want to mention, but we're happy to hear Jeffy.
So it's never mentioned anywhere. So
yeah. I'm happy that you have, and it's a good second mention for that dual currency thing. And of course, unless Jeremy jumps back on, I always want to hear from him. But Andy B,
what's good?
Let's hear this night, Andy B. Let's hear this speculative idea that you have around the GENAC Muslims.
I think it goes well. One of the observations I've had, particularly with the ACE Bretons and CPJ, is just a similar mirroring here with assets slash companies in Trinidad listing in JA to get that liquidity, but then a close partnership being formed between the Muslim group. So I
S-
say, oh, okay, this looks
Sorry,
like a similar thing.
sorry. Maybe I'm not hearing you correctly. So I didn't hear you. I don't know if it's your background. Can you just repeat that for me, please?
All right, sure, yeah, I'll repeat that. Can you hear me any better now?
Yeah, I can. I can know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah.
Fair.
So I was just saying, similar to what we've seen with other entities that Muslim has done transactions with, AS
Mm-hmm.
Biden, CPJ.
Mm-hmm.
It looks similar to me in the sense
Atlantic.
that assets in Trinidad, yes, and assets in particularly assets in Trinidad,
Mm-hmm.
where business is done with Trinidad, and the owners themselves move up to the Muslim group and
Mm-hmm.
now participate there,
Mm-hmm.
and there's some sort of exit position for some of the owners. So that's my observation slash speculation based on that, because it's like you've seen this playbook before, and as the Muslim group expands across the region, I said this looks like the same thing happening again, and person just moving up to the Muslim group and getting that additional liquidity.
Yeah, and there's a lot more in it than that. I mean, there's the currency, the currency
Yes,
wars in Trinidad.
yeah, and I was thinking of that particularly because of the currency rules, if it gives them a way to circumvent those rules without physically moving the money still, the assets themselves still stay in Trinidad, but the capital moves out.
Listen, it happened to Jamaica over the years, and we went through it
Yes.
a lot. So I'm not balling. Trinidad have oil; they'll be all right.
Yeah, especially at these prices.
Yeah, yeah. I'm always happy. I'm always happy when it moves to Jamaica and it stays under Jamaican
Yes,
control.
sir.
Yeah. Listen, we even said in the past that, and we've said this on BrickTalk, we said on other episode. If you think about that story of the man who who broke the pound.
Yes, Stanley Druckenmiller and George Soros.
Yeah. Um,
Hmm.
what you need is a source of funds outside of the currency and also a powerful source within the currency, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And then I look, we were saying it at the time of Atlantic. No, think about it. Atlantic is listed, not Atlantic, sorry. AS Bryden is listed in Jamaica and Trinidad, and in Jamaica it's listed in JMD and USD, and it's interchangeable.
Hmm. Hmm.
So shares, if I buy shares on the Trinidadian market in Atlantic, I keep saying Atlantic because on my mind. But if I buy shares
Yes, yeah.
in AS Bride on the Trinidadian market, then technically I have US dollars in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Has he not broken the peg? I think
You
he's
know
not
what I
broken
think
the
of when I hear this, Randy?
what that.
This is the real. Oh, there them again. This is the real the buy JMB in Trinidad.
Yes.
And say things like this is the reality.
Yeah.
This is not that contrived thing that people love to talk about.
Yeah, this is the real
This is
reality.
okay. I need liquidity and I need USD. Then somehow something can work out.
And it's a hell of
Correct. Correct.
a hell of a solution for a problem, right? That's not
Yep.
nice like a problem. You find a solution for it and you get there. Because how many companies have been able to be acquired because of that? I don't know if that's really the whole reason behind it. And obviously, he hasn't broken the peg of anything. But me personally, yapping from my seat here, I think it just hasn't been broken. I don't think he's in the game, but if anybody could, he
No,
could.
I think it's just really, I think two things are happening. It's a matching of the business owner's needs, where they may want liquidity and they may want to amalgamate themselves with the Muslim group because they like the trajectory of the organization. I think that is one of the key business decisions there, as well as an opportunity to exit in a favor in the most developed market in the region, and an opportunity to earn hard currency that is not available to them. Those are secondary, but the primary one is that they're able to be a part of a regional organization that is committed to the region. And I think that should tick a lot of the boxes for any regulatory concern. But that is just my observation of it, because you know, at that level, you're dealing with policyholders, you're dealing with stakeholders, you're dealing with 40 different things. So, as a mere investor, that's a that's probably how that's the narrative being sold to other stakeholders. But as an investor, it's like, yeah, they're definitely getting liquidity and they're getting some OSB.
Some USD, that's funny. Well, yo, the USD, the USD point is not a small point. If what I hear
No,
happening in Trinidad is true, I hear like, I mean,
no,
people
it
have
is true. It is true.
limited
It
on
is
their
true.
credit card, how much them can buy online.
Yes, it's ridiculous. It's
So
it's very
how
difficult.
how
Not the most or less. That's serious.
yeah, how powerful is the ability to access foreign exchange then easily without thinking about it? Like we literally trade in two different currencies in Jamaica. So that's an
Yeah,
attractive factor. And of course, these people built a hell of a business over decades. So it's an exit.
yeah.
That's a
It
real
is. It is. It is.
yeah, it's an
It
exit.
is. And I think one of the other things too, and there was a recent stat that came out for Jamaica, is that a lot of Jamaicans are holding US dollars. In Trinidad, often that, I'm sorry, Jamaicans are holding US dollars and you can easily change it. That flexibility is not there because it is a dirty peg and there's significant capital control. So it's like the asset owners are saying we need exit, we need liquidity, we want to move into something that we can be sure of. That's how I look at it. That's how I square that circle.
All right. Well, I think it's a great deal, but
No,
you
no,
made a
absolutely. I'm in agreement with it.
you made a couple of points. So she also mentioned that Mayberry owns a chunk.
Yes, yes, yes. I was looking at the top shareholdings of GENAC and said that they, through Jamaican Equity and the other related party, own a good chunk of general accident. And
Yeah.
I think it was even said in the investor briefing with Ms. Donaldson, the CEO, and Dantel was saying that they are active investors in it. So they are a part of that game.
Did they
As
say
in,
that they are a part of that deal? Or that's
no, they are
you?
part. They're participating in general accident as investors.
Oh well, yeah, yeah. I mean they're the second largest
Yeah,
owners. Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So they like to participate in it. That's I think those were. I'm paraphrasing the direct words from what was said. What I
Mm,
understood from what was said.
I
But
get
I
you.
think yeah, there's a big thing of them seeing a big opportunity because I mean a 50% share jump, significant jump in the profits, significant jump in its regional exposure because its Barbados business and Trinidad business are adding massively to the bottom line. And even with general accidents exposure to Melissa shows that they are very prudent underwriters of general insurance because the fact that, as was said, they don't have to worry about that anymore because the reinsurance contracts cover it, indicate to me it's
Mm-hmm.
business as usual for 2026. You
Oh,
can't
ignore that.
expect anything to pop up going forward. And also, too, I think even Sagicor in their AGM, the CFO was mentioning that with um, their general insurer, like they've essentially booked all their losses and all their provisions already. So they're just moving forward. It's business as usual. And I think it goes back to prudent underwriting from an insurer, and they're going back to doing what they do best, which is make money.
Which, and if they're buying another insurance company, I mean that they're scaling up, which means that their reinsurance costs are going to benefit from the economies of scale there.
Yes.
And yeah, I mean, I've been saying to Girl Group, like one of the important things looking at companies in this quarter that's being reported is it's the first post Melissa quarter. So this is where you're seeing who, you know, they say who was when the water goes out, you see who was swimming naked, you see who was naked and who
Yes,
was not.
definitely.
Yeah, so
Definitely.
GENAC, I mean, they pull an extra 100 million in profit for the first quarter post Melissa, 60% increase, and they haven't put in the beacon. They haven't put the beacon. They haven't
Numbers
integrated
in yet,
beacon. Yeah, numbers in it exactly. Well, they have not bought beacon as yet. Although I don't know how does that work because they have paid for beacon now.
Well,
From
I'm
what they're
thinking
saying.
now with the shares being transferred, the economics of it now will show up in Q2. But
Yeah. That's Randy.
uh,
If you the notice does say it's part of the agreement that they had. That an agreement is between three parties. It's not just two.
Is that tripartite agreement? Okay.
Yeah.
mhm.
It's not just Muslim and thing they having an agreement. I think that GENAC is actually a party to that agreement.
Yeah.
And it has to be because again,
because they can't give away shares and
exactly.
not, yeah, it cannot be that Muslim is taking GENAC shares as to pay, and GENAC has nothing to do with it. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
which also further seals in it becomes a matter more than just intention for GENAC to think that. It's not Muslim bought this and we have intention to sell it to GENAC or give it to GENAC. We have an agreement, all three of us, and the ending will have GENAC owning a certain amount, paying a certain amount, and the way the vehicles move probably paying out within that agreement. So yeah, but yeah, GENAC is part of that agreement, not just give it some shares and later work it out, which I don't think anybody here thought that.
But just being a stickler for it though, my company GENAC has now given up value.
Shares, it has not gotten value yet.
I don't know that they haven't gotten value yet.
Well, effective what?
I mean, to me, there is no yet. I mean, future value is locked in already through agreement. That's how I see it. I don't.
I understand what you're saying. I guess how I'm looking at it is that because the shares,
yeah, forget the shares. Just consider it as value. The entity has given up the value.
Yeah.
So what has the entity gotten for that value that they've given up?
The agreement.
No, but the agreement was prior.
I don't think
the future transfer of shares is what they're giving up the value for.
Okay. And because we don't know the details of the agreement.
Yeah.
Okay.
We need more information.
Like even to me, I think it's a matter of even like it cannot be that it cannot be that you give up the shares and then we're in limbo now. It's not a matter of this thing happens and this thing might happen. I think everything is a might. So if every part that I agree, I would hope this is written through. We've seen some agreements in the past that we wonder what's happening there. So just be clear. I would hope that it is a matter of all right, if this don't come through, then that have to get reversed or something like that. And I would expect it from this week, from these.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess how I look at it is that because the shares only happened this week, that it now, and I'm going to use my words very loosely here, Beacon now sits on General Accident's books this week. That is how I
no, I don't see that
conceptualize it.
I don't see that way. I mean, but there is a present value of future transaction. So the just agreement for me that in the future this will happen because we agree that this will happen in the future and this will happen now. I think that's a transaction already.
Okay.
Man.
So it's like an IOU. So they've given up.
Yes. Yes.
They've given up 150 million shares and plus 9,700 redeemable pref shares in exchange for an IOU. Now, granted, they can't really
I think
own.
of Randy. Here's I. Listen, go through.
I was gonna say they can't really own it yet because regulatory, right?
But to me, yes.
So that may add another component to it, where it's not final. It's not final.
So then, why are you paying
I know.
for it?
I want to say, wouldn't they have to book the value of that IOU? But I know. I think they have to, but I also think within an unaudited report, they have some level of leeway.
They have leeway, and I think they can,
especially with one regulatory thing there, and maybe they have some leeway in saying, "Oh, we don't revalue it yet. It's to be valued," something of that sort. But to me, there's at some level, within some period of time, there has to be a booking of that IOU.
Yeah.
Well, once you put it out, they can value it at whatever the value of whatever you say the value of these shares are. There's a date attached to these shares. There's a value attached. So what would happen is, like on the books, it balances. We gave up this much value in the form of this much shares, and then when you get the thing now, if the thing values more than you have, I guess, negative goodwill, you get some profits there. How much you want to bet that there's going to be some negative goodwill here?
You bet me.
No way. No way. No way. No way. The preference shares are interesting to me, though. I think maybe the preference shares are. I'd love to see their preference shares agreements. Well, I thought the same thing for AS Bryden, because you can do so much when you do an agreement that has set shares have a set value, and then you have the preference shares that has a variable value that you don't really hear the details of it. The most they'll tell you in the audited might be if there's any payout percentage attached to it, or time period, or a requirement for payment, they tell you about that. But when they ask for the preference shares, they ask for permission to do them any way they want, which they would have gotten anyway. But I'd love to see one of those agreements. You're right. You put in the same way that I loved when the MJE prospectus came out. It's just like, it's a beautiful document. It's a beautiful. It is for the finance nerds. It's a beautiful way to put together.
Very interesting to see the power of preference shares.
Yeah. Yeah, and how they use across the market, and by various different companies. So yeah, GENAC is a great. So tell me something. You buy some of the GENAC yet? It's like 2 or 3 weeks you talk to us about it now.
No, not me. Me? You sure?
You have mentioned GENAC to us before, no?
Yes, I've mentioned it as something I've observed very carefully, but right now,
I don't know. He's expressed interest. That's the thing. That's it.
I'm very interested in the underlying business because it's conservative approach, the underwriting, insurance, and just the discipline, and who are the majority. So going back to one of our further discussions, is that my interests align with the owner's interests, and that matches up. And I know that when they get a dividend, I get a dividend. I may not be getting the management agreements, but I'm getting the dividend when they get the dividend. So I see alignment of interest there.
Oh, so when you say the sub business, or maybe the parent business, how far up you're going? You're going like EPLE level, or because I thought you'd like the GENAC level.
I do like the GENAC level. When you say EPLE level, what do you mean? The muscle level?
I don't know. Is the EPLE level the muscle level? I don't think so.
No, because EPLE is separate to GENAC.
Yeah, but
most is the ultimate period. Most EPLE
doesn't own thing there. No, it doesn't.
EPLE is completely separate.
I think we talk about EPLE because we know it, because how we see EPLE and know EPLE.
Yeah.
EPLE is money.
It's a separate entity.
It
At
please his
one point,
house.
Yeah.
at one point, General Accident owned a lot of shares in that team that
Yes.
it sold. Yeah. So
What,
yeah, so
what
I guess
As it
all of
should.
that. Yeah, I guess all of that really to say I'm really drawn to the business because I appreciate I like how they operate. Conservative on that front, and then at the same time they are very disciplined with capital, with how they return capital to shareholders.
I specifically like their position within the group as insurance. This for it's something that has to eat as this thing grows, as the Muslim group grows. It's very close to the backbone of it. Every play they make
Yeah,
has to include the insurance part side of it.
yes.
yes, very much so. And if you see in like a lot of the related transactions, they
Hmm.
are always there. Them
As they should.
annuity and even the property fund as well.
Yeah,
Hmm.
especially property fund. They do a lot with that. They do a lot with all of their entities. They use their
Hmm.
capital very, very well. But I'm just surprised that you have this level of knowledge into it, or at least look at it, but you wouldn't want to buy it. I mean, we love the spectacle, but we love also being involved in the spectacle. So I'm just always pushing people to own, believe in the thing. Then I always say buying is believing.
Yes, sir.
No, absolutely. It's one of those things that not there yet because there are other things happening within my own journey, financial journey. So it's just like I'm just
Mhm.
observing to see where next to deploy capital. As you know, you have to. I don't want to be half-hearted with it and then pull in and then put out. So just being very measured with my approach.
I get you. I get you. Well, when you're ready, man, so I can sell you at 15. You know what I mean?
15. Wow, wow, wow.
Listen, there's not much left. Last week we were talking about 8. No, there's 2
And
orders. Monday morning, only 2 orders can be bought, and the top, the lowest one is 9.96, and the top one is 10.50. After that, you're looking at 20. So 15 is a discount. All right.
yeah, well, if you look at it, supply is still very limited because I think prior to the transaction, Mustang owned 80%,
Mm-hmm.
and the balance was really like close parties. And if you exclude Mayberry, anybody having any big, there's not a lot of counterparties, if I could say, big counterparties that would be willing to dispose of it now when the value for it may be on the up. So I
Yeah.
view it as there's no, it's almost saying it's only going up from here.
I mean, yeah. You'd be dumb to be selling any great amount now. And the moves that we say QWI. I mean, look at the 2 funds that are in there have been slowly just accumulating, and there are not a lot of shares around. There are not a lot of shares around generally. Sharon Donaldson accumulating, QWI accumulating, MJE accumulating. It's one of the very few stocks that Chris Berry owns under his name.
Hmm.
Yeah.
There are not that many of them that he owns under his name. So like
Uh-huh.
if you're following the smart money, if you're following the funds, if you're following the news, you're following the plans, it's I think it's an obvious profit point for the
Yeah.
future. Um, and there's less than 1 billion shares overall, and as you said, tightly held. I think Jeff was making that point
Tightly
earlier
held.
that
Uh-huh.
even with the new shares being issued, it dilutes Mussins down to the 60 or 70% level. But there are some shares there that they have not yet issued, and
Yeah. So I
and
think
they
there's something else happening there on that
yeah,
front.
and he has said in the past that they tend to make moves afterwards that have them get to re-increase their holding. They like to have that stronghold,
Yeah,
which I can
yeah.
understand.
There will be agreements happening in the background, and I think that's what's the nature of it. That something is shown up front, but then on the back end of it, yeah, some bigger transactions happen.
Well, Hurry up and buy. But you'll always be able to get some. Just link me and I'll always be able to sell you some. It's just
Yeah, no problem, no problem. I actually wanted to ask you, because Apple released their audited financials, Apple Limited released their. Did
Mhm.
you have a chance to look at it? Because, right, as you know, my approach is very looking at the business before I look at the market because I want to understand what's happening there.
Mhm.
Um, what's your opinion on what's happening with Apple, particularly, I guess, since with the inclusion of property funds, the business seems to have just looking at it initially looks quite complex. It's not as simple or the lending, the managing. It's a lot more work and a lot more things you have to take into consideration, particularly like their joint ventures and such. What's your opinion or what's your perspective on that?
On Epley, to be clear, you're talking about Epley Limited, not Epley Caribbean Property.
Apple Limited, yeah, Apple Limited.
It's I think of it as PB Scott's house. House meaning investment house.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
so like if you think of like his network, for everybody else listening or watching, if you think of like the network or his ecosystem as like NCD, I think of Epley as the cap markets of that. Right? I mean,
Yes. Yeah, it's their
I
asset
joke.
management, their bank fund, their finance unit almost.
Yeah, their financing unit. I mean, I always joke about that. I have joke about that fact that they gave up their junior market. They're one of the few companies that just gave it up. They gave up their junior market. Their junior market uh tax break. Like
Yeah,
they
but that,
actually graduated, and
sorry.
then the ease with which they're like, yeah, but we keep a tax break anyway because we are an approved
Yeah,
VC.
venture. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, approved VC. I mean, what can I say? The former minister of finance used to be the chairman of it. It
Mm-hmm.
it's not it's not a light it's not a light entity. I own shares in it, and it never occurs to me to sell them. I don't own
Mm-hmm.
enough, but yeah, if I'm thinking about pension stuff, I just dollar cost average Apple Limited.
It was one of my first stories in the market. I did sell it eventually. I had it for a long time.
Mm.
Yeah, well, it was right when I just joined the market. It was the story around Apple was you can't get no shares of that.
Yeah,
So and it was some people want it, but you can't get shares. And then the stock split came about, and things changed on that front.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it
I made
was
a good
actually
money from. I mean, it was one of the first good money I made from the market just doing that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's one of my first introduction to that whole ecosystem of really understanding like some of the bigger players and what they actually do and how things can be done. I think of the market very anthropomorph. I mean not use those words, but you think of the personalities on the market and the Epley personality, the PB Scott and team personality, how they do deals, how they do it. I remember when they did the split. Remember they did the split and the listing when they did the offer. I remember them being very clear. Like at one point it was what triple digits, 300 odd per share,
Mm-hmm.
and they
Yes,
were
377. Yeah,
yeah,
377.
and the question was like, oh, why not go to this one? And they're like, listen, the people that were in before, we had agreements with them, and there was a certain valuation. And then now that we're listing it, we are maintaining the valuation.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was, and I remember this is so long ago. I remember reading it in the newspaper, and I got the impression like they didn't say this, but what I was getting reading it was the deal is a deal, and we're not really asking you for nothing, like be happy
He's
that
like,
you're
yeah,
able
I
to
keep
buy some. Yeah, right.
it.
This is the price, and the people that we actually got money from. This is the price that we gave them, and we're being fair by giving you the same price. You can buy it or you cannot buy it. It is what it is. It's worth what it's worth.
It's a good lesson along. The price is the price. Sometimes the price is just the price.
Exactly.
And you have a good thing and you start haggling, and sometimes you just take the good thing.
Yeah,
And that's taking us far away on this market.
Yep.
Investing generally, yo,
Yeah.
you have a good thing in front of you. Instead of beat yourself up and getting a better price, sometimes you just take the good thing.
Yeah.
One of the big things that I've sorry to jump in.
That's if the value is what you're paying for, then take it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of it is how I look at it. I think you're saying something similar, Randy, is that they're supporting their business partners. They're not looking. They're using the market as a mechanism, not not they're not focused on the market price.
Yeah, I respected that with them, that how to do it, and I'll wrap it with a funny epic story of mine, which another thing that made me get the personality, if you will, quote unquote personality of how they do business. How I remember it was they had an AGM once again years ago. I remember reading this as much young as reading this in the Gleaner, and they had an AGM, and the reporter was late. It was either an AGM or an EGM, but there was a set time, whatever, and the reporter was late. Let's say he's 5 or 20 minutes late. And I'm knowing this just because I'm reading the newspaper. But the impression I got was that the reporter was kind of putting it there to make them sound bad, right? Because he said what the quote was that they actually said. So he shows up 20 minutes late, and I'm saying 20, it might have been 5, but it was 20 minutes late, and the meeting is done. So he's asking at the time, what was the thing that happened, or whatever, and nobody's there answering him. And I think they put him to, I want to the CEO, they put him to an exec. You guys can look it up, his in Gleaner. Put him to an exec, and the exec pretty much said, no, the meeting was 20 minutes ago, it's over. Yeah, it's like, so what happened? Like, the meeting was 20 minutes ago. If you wanted to know, you should have been there.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's done. Moreover, I think it's like you're not a shareholder. You're just reporting. You're like a shareholder might have rights.
They don't have an obligation to like that. Right?
Exactly. The meeting is done. Why are you here? And I just thought, they do. Is the
business.
Exactly. They do. That's exactly what I thought.
It's a business.
They do business. That those people who are like, you think, they're being harsh, and they might be being harsh, but they're being precise. And like, there's a certain height you can get to. There's a certain height that you need precision to get to.
And there's a thing here with something to be said around how much we see it all the time. How much people think they have a right outside of the processes of law within business and the market. We see it all the time. Mm-hmm. Oh, I want to hear this from the shareholder. I want to hear this from the CEO. I want to hear this, and it's the CEO. There's no obligation on paper to get up and tell you how the business works beyond a certain level, or what's actually happening in the business at any given time.
Yeah,
there are certain things you are right to. There are certain things in law, but then beyond that, I don't get up and tell you every day what's going on. I don't get up and tell you that I don't have to confirm your speculations around certain things.
Yeah,
but we see it all the time, and it's even like you see people do a thing where they get up, they speculate wildly, and then they act like there's some injustice being done if somebody won't get up and say, "Oh yeah, okay, you are right or wrong about this thing."
Yes.
No. That's not the job.
That's not how it works. Yeah, and I think for me, looking on it, I realized very early, and it's something I still see, that a lot of pandering happens on the market. A lot of company leaders, they pander to you, and it's usually how they lie to you. A lot of pandering happens on the market, and I was impressed. I'm still impressed because these guys don't pander to you, and I respect that. It's like, do I want a person who talk nice to me, make me feel good, but they're lying to me? Or do I want a person who they're not being mean to me, but they're also not necessarily being kind to me, but I'm not here to be kind. I'm in this thing to try and make money, and I'm running a business. The rule says X, Y, and Z, and I did X, Y, and Z. You're asking me to the ABC. Yeah, but over that so-and-so company, the ABC, go over so-and-so company then. Right? Because that pandering has been one of the things that, in my view, has been bad for the market.
Yes,
the friend and company thing. Yeah,
friend
man.
and company, and we
The
see
the,
how
the, the do this, the do that,
Nice
boy, this, yeah. Oh, you know, no, I know a thing, I know somebody who you have a link that can, all of that is under the pandering thing. All of that is, it feel good
yeah.
if you're the one who have the link, and it screws everybody else. I
Yep.
grew up with no links.
I never buy into this company.
Yeah,
For years, say your links go further than my money.
exactly. I prefer a thing where there's no links, there's no pandering, but
We're all the same
you might not like it, but
Sorry,
everybody's getting treated the same way. So like when that's why I'm not against, obviously I'm not against AGMs or EGMs or anything like that, but I find most AGMs useless. I don't need to hear the annual report read back to me. And the question, no offense to my fellow shareholders, but most of the questions asked at most AGMs are useless. They're if you read the financials, you wouldn't need to ask that. And also, if you know the rules, you know most of what they cannot tell you or won't tell you. And then when you get into the little middle space there where they can tell you, but you don't know what the right thing is to ask, and you never learn what the right thing is to ask because you're so used to the pandering thing. So I've seen, even though you see that AGMs, a good question get asked, or maybe something brushing near a good question, and they're like, oh, blah, blah, and we'll talk to you off air. What is off air? There's no off air, but people even know that you shouldn't get that. So them go, yeah, man. And then you talk to those people afterwards and you hear them say, no, man, me and him had a good conversation, blah, blah, blah. And like you realize that you went to him as a shareholder with a shareholder concern, and him draw you out until you say, we'll talk to you. Because you're thinking you get to talk to the big man. So me and the big man after the thing, and then take two pictures.
They tell you boastfully, bro. They make it sound like they won here.
Yeah, man.
All I'm hearing is,
yeah, man. Me have the big man. Me have the big man number and a WhatsApp and I'm how does that help me? How does that help me? Yeah,
we can message you, man. We can message you. I'm like, that's
great.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with that, and I think one of the approaches, there are different things to say there because you had mentioned it earlier, Randy, where as a business owner, you don't have time to be on Twitter. There's stuff to be done. So whenever, and I guess this is one of the use to analyze management is observe what are people tweeting. I don't need you to be tweeting.
Yo, I don't knock the tweets, you know. I don't knock the tweets. But
I mean, just the attention to social media.
Yes. Because sorry to cut you.
To social, yeah, no
sorry
problem.
to cut you, but I often use this example. Obviously, Tyrone tweets. Richard Pandoi also tweets.
Yeah.
And Richard Pandoi is within the oh my god, it's two different it's like I play ball and Cristiano Ronaldo plays ball, or Lionel Messi is two different class of thing we're talking about. Yeah. Right? Two completely different, and I've seen is that both of them have had maybe what you'd consider controversy on the Angry social media network, Twitter. Right? But again, how it's handled is completely different. And the things that you see, the post, I mean, like it's a study in it. Within the Google part about it, it's a study.
And what's aired in public? Because what are you discussing in public? Because if you and I have a disagreement and you being loud and in public about it, that says something to me internally that something else is going on there that someone may feel insecure about or needs to address it in this way to get a following behind it. And it's just like, is that someone you necessarily want to be in business with? Because when you enter business, you have to have hard discussions. That is the nature of business. If you're not having hard discussions, a lot of things going to just flow through. So I view like, particularly with Apple's, how we only know something happening with Apple when there's something published on a GSE, and it's almost like because you have to.
Yes, and continue there. But what I like that too is it says to me like you know the points to press them on if you know the rules and the laws. So, for example, and I don't know that this is anything necessarily bad, and I'm just saying that to protect myself legally, but I do remember when AS Bryden was listing, some documents were posted, and those documents, I think maybe I could tell I didn't want to give all the details at the start, And I think
Yeah.
there's some time involved in some of those documents. And I think, but I know what the law says around, especially the kind of listing and how it's done. And if I remember correctly, there were some documents that are listed and they didn't have the date on them, like the date section was blank. And I laugh about it because that to me, somebody who knows the rules and knows the laws and knows that up against it and go, you know what? Put it blank and then let's see if somebody presses us on it.
Yeah.
And I don't have to like it, but I respect that because I know if you know the law, you know what to do, you know to press them. The thing that we
And
all
that
share
is
is the law. So if the law, the rules say X and I know X and you're not doing X, then I know where I can stand there. But when you're dealing with people where the blind leading the blind, but we're all making each other feel good, you lose a lot of money.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think of Epley, how now you think of Mussins is how I started off thinking of Epley because it was my start with understanding the whole thing and seeing the whole thing. So I tend to think of it, for a long time I thought of it as the top of the stream. I know no, it's not. I know that it's more Mussins and the private stuff. But regardless, I wish there was like maybe 5 more of these on the market because I wish there were 5 more of these kind of networks on the market because there would be just what they do, the ripples of it would affect us all. We'd benefit from it. And I own and Epley, my Epley shares are the first set of shares I've ever thought of as pension shares. Like, I'm not any rush to sell this. I still own them.
No.
I still own them.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, Epley to me is the gold standard for how I look at the type of style of investing that I approach. Because like communicating, you only need to communicate the essentials. I use it as my benchmark because honestly, I just need to know the facts when something material happens because that is what I need to put in my analysis.
I mean, I don't mind more information if you want to give me more information. Generally, you know.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Yeah,
I mean,
love.
yes,
I love more information if you can give more information. But I respect people who know the value of information.
Yep.
I respect people who know the value of information, and it says a lot. I like that point you made about, like when the disagreements happen. Not that I don't know of any. I'm sure there must be disagreements. It's how life and business works. But
people.
and people.
yeah.
I've one of the things I learned and I'm still learning is we're defined a lot as a people by how we disagree. And you're right.
Yes.
There's the 2 types. You can be loud and there's more than 2, but you can be loud or whatever. And the other person might not be as loud. And so the loud person thinks that, well, let me be louder in order to win. Let me try and carry the crowd, right? You're the same person. They push the rumors, the lies because they need people to support them. And I've learned to look at the other party to go, yeah, man, I know you said that they're the wickedest, evilest person ever. I just want to hear what them have to say first. Yeah. And oftentimes when you listen to what they have to say, things look a little bit different from that perspective.
Yes,
so yeah,
very different.
Yeah, I respect Epley. I respect Epley. I respect them because also, like, think of CPFE, not the most stellar company out there in terms of like blowing up returns or whatever. And when they're buying it and how they bought into it, they never sold it as that. That's it. It's like they're selling the fund, and it's like it's gonna be like a steady state fund. It's gonna make us money. We expect to make strong cash flow, and we want it to be around for a long time, and blah blah blah. Everybody's gonna tell you how it's the biggest thing. I mean, I remember another company IPO'd when they're doing their roadshow. I won't say who it is, but I never forget that Brethren said that they did. It's the first time I ever see curry goat in a wine glass.
Oh wow!
Because at the event they served curry goat in a wine glass, right? White rice. Yeah, I put the curry goat in a wine glass. It sounds great and it's very fancy, and the company is struggling.
I suspect a plate is more efficient.
Yeah, it might be, right? but it was the hype versus like the CPFV where they're not hyping it. But if you look at CPFV, it still doesn't look very hype. But the power in CPFV is when you look at it and you zoom out. Literally, at least on My Money J, you can do that. You just zoom out and look at it over the years.
But bro, what a metaphor. Curry go to the wine
Curry
glass.
go to
But
I think I
as a
my life.
metaphor, bro. My
Yeah.
word.
Yeah, that one
Yeah.
is bad.
And you look at the nav of CPFV especially.
Hard.
Yeah, it
I will
doesn't
stay out of
doesn't move much, and then it moves up and it stays there. Curry got the wine glass got stuck for life, bro. Yeah, that's what I think of it. And then you see the strength behind that, because CPFV eventually what they did, they ended up buying most of the shares themselves. They ran it and they buy most of the shares themselves. They really believe in it, and
Yeah.
it moves up.
and
It moves up.
And two, it's a part of the bigger Muslim
we got
network. That
exactly
is
that's exactly my point.
who
Yep.
is who's paying the rent,
Same like I do the real
who's
same like
paying
I
the
do
rent.
the real estate, I did the insurance. It's
Yep.
yo,
Yeah.
we do all these
And then
things.
who
So
is doing the insurance? General accident.
Yeah.
So the
Atlantic is the
money
perfect
stays.
story. Yeah.
Mhm.
They did the buyout with Atlantic. Atlantic had to fire them, move them. They need to move to a different place. So they sold the land, moved them down to a property that they leased from CPFV. The original place that had fire, I don't know if they had insurance or not, but I know that they definitely have insurance, because General Accident not only insures them but owns 10 or 11% and is also on the board, right? And so you see that sort of thing. And then when you're doing your research, you see, because I remember digging into the CPFV reports, and they own that, which Jerry's back on. They own that place on Spanish Town Road where the police stand up under the speed trap sometimes. And I always thought it was an abandoned building, but no, I think it's a paper factory or something. And I looked at
Okay.
that, but then I look at that business that's there now and it turning over, and I'm thinking, is that business going to list? Because you could have looked at the Atlantic and how it was changing for like the year before it listed, how it got bought out, how Lumber bought it, and Lumber bought it, and GENAC bought it, and somebody else bought it, and then it wasn't listed, but you could tell, and it was moving. Or where is it moving to? A property that's owned by CPFE, so it's a lease. So you see the lease increase in the CPFE numbers. Yeah, man, that's an ecosystem that you can eat from,
Yeah.
and you can research and eat from it. It's a wonderful thing.
Definitely. And if I could pivot to CPSV for a minute, is one of the things I like about it is the nature of their contracts, because their contracts are indexing every year and increasing. And I said that is how you want to run a business. That is how you have that incremental improvement going year over year. And I'd almost call it's a similar thing like with or favorite stock, Trans Jamaica Highway, where it's just like it has those increases built into year over year, where if there's depreciation or inflation, there are increases that happen with the toll rates. So it's just like this is happening with rents. I like what's happening there. I think I'm particularly concerned with their interest costs right now, because I think like the fund is taking on a lot of debt. So that is just something that monitoring right now, given a higher interest rate environment.
But why I don't worry about that? They use the market as a tool. If if the interest cost hits them, they come to the market, or they'll list something, and increase the asset base, asset value, get cash from it. Yeah. If you look at the history of not a CPFV but Epley, but CPFV within Epley, that situation that you're talking about has happened again and again and again. In fact, if you remember, the same thing with PBS, also within the ecosystem. Look at how they've managed the hits with PBS. Look how they've managed the hits with Epley. I'm not worried about the interest rate, whereas with them, one time, so for some of them, they are the actual largest holders of the debt themselves. I mean, they did a thing once where I think the last time that interest rate was in Jamaica, where they just had a meeting, and they apparently all of the shareholders of the debt agreed to accept a lower rate and longer terms. Because I suspect all of the holders of the debt were in the room. So
I think about that, going back to what we were talking about earlier. It's just like you're operating as partners. So it's just like, let's come to the table, let's figure out how best for all of us to benefit from this. And for that to happen by, by a simple vote or meeting, that shows that these people are committed to the long run of the business, not just well, I'm just gonna try to jump in and then jump out.
Oh well, they've been here a long time, my brother. So they're
Mhm.
they're very committed. I have no doubt.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I found out that like they own Empire Shopping Center. I used to go to the bar at Empire Shopping Center. My father used to go to the bar at Empire Shopping Center years ago. They own the mall, Constant Spring Mall.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, they
Mhm.
own a bunch of things.
That was one of the first assets that they owned when after they took it over from the prior manager.
Mhm.
Yeah, one of the first Jamaican assets.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what they do with St. Thomas.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, I'm happy to have you on. I hold it out because I was hoping that Jeremy could jump back on while I'd hear from
No
him.
problem, no problem. Oh, one last thing if I could.
Yeah, feel free.
Stanley Mata, you saw the results?
I
Their
didn't see
audited
the results, but I
results?
can look at it right now. What
I
just
guess one
happened?
of their biggest line items usually is, their revaluations going through. And this goes back to one of the points we were talking about earlier with the revaluations that yes, revaluation is important, and I think it depends on who is doing the revaluation and what is the nature of the person doing the revaluation. Because like the character of the person who is doing something,
Mm-hmm.
you don't need to question what's happening behind it. And when you see what is happening, there's no fluff. It's just like you don't really get that from the press releases from Stanley Mata. And it's just like, okay, this is what's happened, results coming out, revaluation, they're building up 85 half a tree,
I mean,
and they're getting the rent, and
Stanley
and
Mata
you can,
is their billing that they rent to themselves, right?
yeah,
Essentially.
hmm,
Yeah. So I think they're
yeah.
gonna pay the rent.
No, they will pay the rent. They
Yeah.
will.
Yeah.
And it
Stanley
goes
Mata is
back
them
to
renting to themselves.
that whole ecosystem that they have
Mm-hmm.
there. And I mean, Canopy is there, Epi is there, whole
Canopy.
other organizations within within that ecosystem is there. So it's just like, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And who
Canopy
is
is
insuring and who is insuring it?
it
Okay,
has to
I
be
I found
GENAC.
it's often easier to deal in utility than character because I don't
Ooh.
know these people.
Ooh.
I
That's a
don't know these people.
bar. Yeah, that's a
So
bar.
it's best if I can see what exactly is happening here. Why is this being done? And sometimes you can tell the character based on that, right? So
Yeah.
you look what's happening. Why are we revaluing? What exactly is the benefit being derived here, and how does it
yeah,
accrue to me? And then I work from
yeah.
those lines because I don't know
Yeah.
these
Hmm.
people. I can't swear for I can be thinking this person is a great person that would never do this for years, and then boom.
Yeah.
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 There's a saying, trust but verify. So it's just like, all right,
Exactly that.
this is what's happening.
Exactly
Because
that.
and this is something else that I was also thinking about based on First Rock's result. I remember when First Rock was IPOing way back, and I was saying there was so much hype around it then. And then when I think of where it is now, and it's like for me it's almost gone quiet. It's like it's in my mind it's almost
They just
done with
announced
its
their
entirety.
APO.
Yeah, but I mean beyond that, and it's just like they they if I could use the analogy,
Very good.
they were curry goat in a wine glass. And it's like there was so much fanciness happening up front, but it's like, how has that played out? No. So it's like, and I compare that to the Stanley Matter, just like they're just doing, just doing the business. There's no hype, and it's just like a substance over hype.
Yeah. Yeah. And hey, listen, everybody have their own roads to walk because sometimes, yeah,
No,
you make it through
definitely,
the you make it
definitely.
through the pain and you get a lot better. Look, First Rock went through the pain, but I'm sure there's still pain ahead, but they have or they are building out more now, right? And I mean, they
Hmm.
seem that they're up against the wall with what was happening with them. They found it, maybe it helped them.
Yeah.
15 mil in assets. I remember you mentioned it a little earlier tonight with the on
Yes.
YouTube. 15 mil US of the debt is to them. It's a good deal, I think, for Mayberry, and it's a good deal for First Rock. I know First Rock is doing the APO, probably gonna be. I don't know if it's going to be brokered by Mayberry. It'll be Mayberry's first APO, no Southern Eye, if they broker one.
If so, yeah, if so.
Yeah, I would lose the benefit of being able to say that Mayberry has never done an APO for anybody else. For anybody, I'm not a fan of them, but a fan of APOs. But who knows if it works out how it works out.
For the skies of the APOs, every time we talk about the APO. I hear the passion, I hear the pain.
Yeah, man. You'll kill it. If you can go back years ago and you hear I was saying that something like that can kill the market. It can kill the market. And I keep a little sheet of all of the companies that do an APO, and all of them except one is down.
As you mentioned that, if I could jump in, Sagicor doing an APO.
Yeah, but no surprise there. Sagicor is going to make it 11.
No surprise.
No surprise. I know what that means for the share price. In fact, First Rock probably stands a better chance because First Rock doesn't have as many existing shareholders as Sagicor does.
Yep.
Yeah, so Sagicor, it is what it is. But again, when you're inside you talk to the people inside the circles, the thing that always comes back is that this stuff is not done with retail investors like us in mind.
No.
We are incidental to the whole thing, and that's what's going to happen. I mean, Barita is also, they haven't said that, but I expect that they may not call it an APO, but it's probably going to be an APO. But it's the same thing. Rework the group, a larger group, bring things in and raise some money along with it. And it is what it is. I know which fights to fight, and I know which fights not to fight. And the APO fight don't need me to fight it. It fights itself. So, yeah. So, whatever happens. What I know is that at least the companies will be good. Sagicor isn't going anywhere. Barita isn't going anywhere. In fact, Barita is growing bigger, as is Sagicor. And I will buy when I see the possibility of profit and sell when I've either made my profit or I don't see the possibility anymore. I'm not in a rush to buy any of those companies right now, though. Yeah, but it is what it is.
Add, I appreciated our chats recently as it is kind of taking me on a journey to understand other players, particularly for the retail market, like what drives other person. So thank you for facilitating BrickTalk, because oftentimes having a discussion helps put you on a journey where you can discover certain things about yourself, and particularly different things that you maybe unknowingly avoid, unconsciously avoiding.
Was it when I asked you about?
Yeah,
thank you for joining. Was it when I asked you that question around, like, what happens if you buy it and then the price goes here, and then the price goes here, and then after a year it goes here?
I think that was part of it. But I think it's also to understand maybe jumping in and jumping out, particularly with transformator, because my approach is very income oriented, and it's just like I know that style is based on what I want to do personally.
Okay. So, well, there's nothing wrong with it.
I realize it's not really about being wrong. It's really understanding someone's perspective, because the market means different things to different people. I am not trying to spend every waking moment in it. I'm just like, I found a strategy that allows me to just sit down on my hands and let the money accumulate via this dividend methodology that I prefer, the high income methodology. And that appeals to me. Somebody may say, well, the price gone up today, gone down tomorrow. All right, let me jump in and jump out. I don't have the heartache. My heart can't handle that. So it's just like, I know what is working for me. Dollar cost average into something and just keep plowing away, because that's just a strategy that I figure out has worked for me.
Know thyself and you shall know the world.
Yep.
Correct.
Yep, is the second most important thing in investing. And be big up if you want. You can get one of the tickets for Grow tomorrow too. You just DM me and I say, but it's a whole day workshop, but it's worth it. I suspect you'd benefit a whole lot from it. I wouldn't say that I don't want you to pay for it. I'd love for you to pay for it. I'd love to take your money, but I mean, you one of the two.
No problem.
So you can DM me if you're interested, and I'll let you know. I'll let you know
Sure.
after.
Okay.
Yeah, I was hoping that Jerry
Really
could
appreciate
join.
it.
No, you're very, very welcome. However, Jerry could join, but I don't think him joining, and we're up against the hour.
Elon beefing.
Yeah, look, so I mean, I'll wrap it. I don't know if you have anything. Anything?
No, I like this one. As
Yeah, I
short
like
as it
this.
was, it didn't feel short.
Yeah, I like this one also. So, I mean, thank you guys very much. I hope May has been very, very good to you. You want to check out
Indeed
what has been happening on the market for the month of May? I'll tweet the link right now, actually. And if you don't catch the tweeted link, you can catch it yourself by going to mymoneyj.com. You want to learn how to invest, you go to everymickle.com/GRWR. You don't care about it, none of that, and you just want somebody tell you what to do, you can link Danai at dhalladvisory.com. And we will see you guys again next week. It's been another BrickTalk.
All right, guys. Enjoy the weekend.
All right, big up.